Hello. We're here. Anna's here. I'm here.
Hey, how's it going? What's up?
Welcome. Happy Crimson Tuesday.
Happy
Hey,
Crimson Tuesday.
here's my friend Anna. We're really excited to get started. Blaholtzen, yes, special guest. We have a very special guest. Our very first guest on Crimson Tuesday, which is appropriate because I was the first guest on the CGG podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
You sure were, and a great guest and a repeat guest, which we really haven't had any of. So
Oh right,
that was fun.
sweet. Yeah, I've been on 3 times, so I kind of like that, and I hope to be on again when the game finally launches, whenever
Yes,
that will be.
that would be awesome. Ooh, nice coaster.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk all about the coasters for sure. Mouse Miss, yeah, Dan is not here again, but he will be back in the
Uh,
future. He's don't worry, he's around, but he isn't able to make it. Jim plays games. Happy Crimson Tuesday. Cosmic 43. Good evening as well. Yes, so I'm really pleased to have Anna on. She's a good friend of mine. Um, we're going to get started, I think. Yes.
yeah, hey, the deluxe tux. Oh my God, I could say your name. That's great. Yeah, it's
Yes.
nice being on the other side of the camera. I haven't done this. I used to do Twitch stuff, and I really need to go back to it. So this is a great way for me to get motivated too. And plus, I get to see my friend Julia.
Yes.
So, yay.
Yeah. And it's nice because I was just telling Anna before we started. Oh my goodness, we haven't really had a chance to talk or chat or anything really
Mm-mm.
for like a while now, and it's nice to be able to give a good reason to actually get up there and do this kind of stuff, which is nice. Bill Cunha, special guest. Ace and Rex, good to see you as well. Yes, so we're gonna just get started, I guess. We were nearly on time today, which is kind of thrilling.
That was beautiful.
Sarah Cal 421, hello, good to see you too. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna start with how Anna and I met. And I love that we're both wearing red because I think that's very appropriate.
Red, and I'm wearing a fish
Yes,
a necklace as well.
sweet. That's
So
very
yeah,
appropriate
it's
too.
one of those. What is it? Yeah, the hematite, right? So it looks kind of
Nice,
metallic.
nice. I love
Yeah.
hematite. It's magnetic, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's cool stuff. I love it.
Always time for tea. Good evening, and we will be talking about rocks in a bit. We have so much other stuff we want to talk about
Yeah,
first.
oh my God, time just disappears.
We will get around to all of this. Grundislav, good to see you.
Oh, hey, nice
Yeah.
to see you.
Grundislav Francisco Gonzalez. Anna, you can talk about him real quick because I know he was a guest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was a guest on our show. He's like the godfather of
Yes.
the modern adventure game. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It was an amazing episode. If anybody here hasn't listened to it, go look it up. CGG Podcast, Francisco Gonzalez. It's
Yes.
a great two-parter.
Yes.
There's just so much information to glean from him. So.
Yes, he was so nice you had to talk to him twice.
Well, it was all one really long time.
Yes.
But, it was just so much. We just couldn't fit it into one episode. Had to be a two-parter. Absolutely.
It was fantastic. I really enjoyed that one. And Grundislav also he streams on Wednesdays for Wild West Wednesdays while he's developing Rosewater, which is his next adventure game, which looks really awesome. And yeah, if you want to see anyone working on Photoshop with rotoscoping, animation, he shows a lot of cool stuff. Sarah.
Oh, I'm glad you have my posters. Yes, you do. I was like so happy to be sending some out to Oregon. I've never sent any out there before.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yay.
Albionium,
All
good
over the
evening
world.
as well. And Ronald Dragster, hey, nice
Hey,
to see
Ronald.
Gilders in chat.
Gilder
Super good.
represents.
Yes, and that brings it to I was going to talk about how Anne and I first met. We first met in the Classic Gamers Guild Facebook group, CGG. Goemon Sama, good to see you as well. Yeah, and so what happened was we all decided, hey, we're going to go to PAX West in Seattle, and fortunately Anna is on that coast. She's in Victoria, and I got to hang out with Anna in real life IRL for what was it, 3 or 4 days, I think.
Yeah, and like Jess, our friend from
Yes.
Australia, who's another CGG admin, had come in as well beforehand. I'd spent a few days with her, and we did this big Nerf gun war for my son's birthday. Long story short, that Julia came and
Yes.
explored the sites and got rocks. Right?
Yes.
It was just fantastic.
Yes, yeah. Anna shares my love of rocks, and we will get to the
Yes.
rocks. It's
The rocks will
we will
happen.
we will talk rocks. Rocks will happen. But yeah, and so we took the ferry to Vancouver. We drove down to Seattle, and my favorite part of that whole trip
Oh,
was
hey, Paul, how's it going?
oh, Phantom
Or
Fellows,
Rick,
Paul's
or
here.
whoever's going is, I think it's Paul, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Paul.
for sure. Yeah, Skeevy Wonder, hey, good to see you. Yeah, so that's how we met, and Anna has been kind enough to beta test the Crimson Diamond, and I'm out of focus again. Why is this? Anyway, yeah, and so what I guess quickly to run down everything, and then we'll go over everything in detail. The first thing is, she's beta tested the Crimson Diamond. She's the co-host of the Classic Gamers Guild podcast with Rick and with Paul, which is an awesome podcast we're going to talk a lot about as well. And she's been beta testing Rick and Paul's game. It's a point-and-click adventure game called the Phantom Fellows, and we'll show some of that as well. And she is a business owner. She owns her own business called Translucent Finishing in Victoria, BC, and we'll be showing this beautiful coaster among other things. And after that, I've got the last thing, which is it's funny because I have it listed as last, but it seems to be the only thing we're talking about for the most part, which is rocks. We're going to talk about rocks. We'll save that for last. Oh, Dr. Mikachu. Dr. Mikachu's rating with a party. Thank you so much. I'm going to just do a shout out quickly for Dr. Mikachu. Dr. Mikachu is an amazing streamer as well. She streams the most amazing dev videos, and she knows a bunch of different engines and everything, and she'll take you from design doc to artwork to animation to everything. It's kind of amazing. Phantom Fellas, oh, thanks for subscribing. This is awesome. Simon Lee, yes, thank you for rating. This is awesome. Wonderful.
Those poor Connors.
Fantastic. K Normalized Knitting, good to see you as well. Nice to see familiar faces tonight. And Eating Weight 17 / Studio, good to see you. Yeah, so we're going to just dive in, I guess, Anna.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, so beta testing Crimson Diamond. It's an EGA text parser game, and I know you have plenty of experience. We were just talking about Gold Rush before we went live. What is, before we, I guess, talk about that more in general, what are some EGA games that you enjoy? What are some text parser games that you enjoy?
That's a good question. Like, there are definitely some that I enjoy more than others. So in my top ones, I like I got some around me here, but I like the Curdle's Bequest, of course, which may have been a little bit of an influence for some of the stuff we've seen around here. But when I first played it, anybody who's listened to the podcast will know that I didn't do very well first time I played through, because you don't know, like, and the time just keeps ticking into the future, right? It's just like, it is the game that is the most like real life, right? Just like, stuff's gonna happen. Like, you might be there, you might not be there, it's gonna happen, and at the end you're gonna make a decision. It may or may not be the right decision, right? But it's gonna happen, and time's gonna move on. Quest for Glory 1, well, Hero's Quest, right, obviously is a fantastic game. The EGA version, I like the parser. It'll come. And I had a amber monochrome monitor growing up, so you can imagine all of these games were also in bright, vivid amber monochrome. Beautiful. So they were so beautiful. So that's a couple. I could keep going. Like, okay, I would just start listing all of the parser games that exist and telling you why they're so awesome.
Yes,
because that's what I would do, right? We could talk about Gold Rush for a while. It's a pretty game. It's a parser game.
Beautiful.
And, you know, people say that they were really, really difficult, and they were, but they were also fun. But if you only had one game at a time, it didn't matter too much. No.
That's what's changed definitely in terms of competing for the attention of players. People have just so many more games at their disposal that, you know, you're not stuck with one game.
Monochrome.
Yeah, Sarah Cal 421 Amber Monochrome is the best monochrome. I think we all agree with that. Definitely. Oh wow, your friend played Hero's Quest in Amber Monochrome Eating With. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, and Ace and Rex, Laura Bow, I love Laura Bow as a character, and of course Nancy Maple is very much inspired by Laura Bow, so I guess hopefully we consider it, you know, it never would officially be a third Laura Bow game, but I like to think of it as a continuation, but, you know, not exactly, but just a little bit. Hey, Roberta as well. Welcome to chat. Welcome to stream. Yes, and SWATs, I'm working on a Space Warlord Oregon Trading Simulator, and that one's green monochrome. But yeah, my heart is kind of with the amber, I think, because I love warm lighting, as I think you can notice. I love warm lighting.
Roberta, you like the shirt I'm wearing? See, there you go. Summer Days, Hero U. Can you see the bottoms? There you go. Summer Days at Hero U.
Oh, and Sir Highbury here is as well. Rick is here. So we've got all the co-hosts of the Classic Gamers Guild podcast series. So we're going to talk about Classic Gamers Guild podcast real soon. But I wanted to, quickly just, I wanted Anna's sort of impression of the beta test of the Crimson Diamond overall, in terms of, is it too hard? What's the difficulty level like For instance, do you feel like it's something compared to the other games, like we talked, like Gold Rush, things like that? What do you think?
Well, the notepad automatically makes it a little bit easier because it's kind of
Okay.
like, this is what you need to do. This is the direction that you're going. If you kind of generally do these things, the story is going to progress. So if you can't figure something out, it's not for lack of knowing what you have to do. It's for lack of, but how do I do it? Where's that item? What do I combine and how,
Mm-hmm.
how do you word things? There's always like decoding the language of a parser game, because I think
Yeah.
everybody that writes them has a little bit of a different way of putting things. Like, do I
Mm-hmm.
put the glass on the door, or do I use
Yes.
the glass on the
Yes.
door? How
Absolutely.
do I interact? How many of those can you account for?
Yes.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
because you're going to get different people speaking different languages
Mm-hmm.
trying to play your game, right? So it's like, I got to learn your language, and I really liked that. I mean that. Let's see, what did I actually wrote some notes here. Right,
Ooh.
yeah, I
Oh
love it that
boy.
when I've done this for you, when Nancy is listening at a door and somebody's coming or something's happening, she hides. She's not like, oh my god, I'm just gonna stand here and like something's gonna happen to me. Oh no, she's like, I'm gonna leave the room and go to my room, or I'm gonna hide over here behind the trunk. And there's these adorable, like my 10-year-old walks by, he's like, oh my god, those animations are so cool. Like, I love when they go to play pool, or the way they stand, and things. Everything's just so pretty.
Oh, I'm
Sorry
glad.
if I say anything I shouldn't say. I mean, I mean to. I'm trying to just stick with stuff that I've played that everybody else has played here. So I might have gone further, and it's just so hard
No,
not
and
to.
it's fine because a lot of that stuff I've kind of tweeted like the little animations here and there.
Good.
So yeah, I mean, if anyone's been following anything closely, then nothing that you said so far should surprise anybody.
There
Um,
are instant deaths, but they warn you, Slat Studio. It's so considerate. It's
yes.
like, oh man, you've gone too close to the water. That would be pretty dumb if you were to like fall in, huh? And then you're like, oh, I fell in.
Yeah.
Okay, but like honestly, it stopped me there. The text stopped me and
Mhm.
said,
Mhm.
something's gonna happen. Don't do this. Or like, drinking. I remember when I first tested your game at the very beginning, you could like drink like she's just going at it,
Yes.
like she could
Yes.
just drink and drink and drink and drink,
Yes.
and everything was cool. And now it's like, oh man, that was good. Oh man, it's like Quest for Glory does the same thing. If
Yes.
you're drinking at the bar and it's not Dragon's Breath, it's like, oh
Yes.
man, that's okay. Oh man, that's not. Oh man, if I do that again, something's gonna go wrong. And then it's like, oh no, now I can't play the game at all because she's just dead drunk. She's probably got alcohol poisoning or something. So
Yeah.
I love the progression. Oh, and I love how. Go ahead.
No, no. I was just gonna say it's funny that it's actually Jess, our Australian friend, who was also in Victoria. That was she actually was testing it, and she said the same. So
Chad, I'll work on that.
I added it because Jess said, I think something should happen potentially, and I said, okay, I can't resist. This is a coaster, by the way, Militant Braylor. We'll talk about the wood stuff very soon.
Mhm.
It's actually actually it's not. It's like the third thing after we're gonna talk about. We have so much to talk about. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
catch
yeah,
up to
we're
Chad
almost
as
done.
well. Yeah.
I just okay. I have to like the buildings. I like whenever I play The Sims. I make
Mm-hmm.
all the walls go down or at least be transparent so that I can see what I'm doing because it's pretty and stuff. But unless you're taking a photo, you don't need to do that. So I like how in your game, everywhere you go, things just go transparent. If you're behind like the boathouse or something
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
and you can just walk by, you can see what you're doing because there's lots of stuff to do in the scene. So it's like more work for you because you have to create the scene behind the
Yes.
building.
That it was a consequence of
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been there.
that was a consequence of inexperience on my part because when I designed that boathouse scene, because I wanted a beautiful frontal view of the boathouse, but I wanted her to be able to walk behind the boathouse, but then you couldn't see her for like 3/4 of the screen at all. It would have.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So whoops! I just made this beautiful screen, but you can't see her walk behind the boathouse, and that's why I had to do the wireframe thing when you walk by it and everything, because if I had been smart about it, that would never have happened. So.
That's okay. I don't mind that. I also like, okay, and you've done like, to me, it's a little homage to past adventure games by making sure you can find something in a hollow log, little details
Yes, all these
like
things.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really, I mean, there's so many little nods and there's so much authenticity. The art on the walls, and it's like, oh, is it just a little thing on the wall? No, it's like based on this painting, or it's based
Yeah.
on this like piece of art that already exists and stuff. So I could just keep going on. It's been so much fun, and
I'm
beta
glad.
testing too is fun because you're like, you're looking for things that you can find that are wrong that you can fix. It's like, imagine reading a book from your favorite author and you see that they wrote the word "the" twice, and you can write them an email and they're like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We're going to recall all the books and we're going to send them back out again, and we're going to totally fix that mistake. Thank you. Right? It feels good.
Yeah, you actually found a bug that we have to get it. We have to talk about later, I think, because it's.
Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't sent that.
No,
to
no,
you yet.
no rush. No, that's wonderful. That's exactly what I'm hoping for when I send that stuff to you. And always time for tea. It is, yeah. The Nancy getting drunk thing. That's kind of like a lot of CR games where there's a bit of a morality thing in that. Yeah, if you try to do something inadvisable, then you might get punished for it potentially.
Catching up on chat here.
Yeah, Jim Matt says it's nice to hear the descriptions of environment and architecture in the game, and hearing Anna's opinion after beta testing. Yay, it's good. It's so wonderful. Yeah, I love writing those little bits and pieces of little architectural details and about the furniture and everything, because I want it to be inadvertently educational. Not directly, but that kind of stuff, I think a lot of us have had that experience when playing adventure games, is you learn a new word here and there. You learn how to spell something new. I learned candelabra, I believe from King's Quest 3, maybe? Was it King's Quest 3? Question Glory 1, maybe?
You use it in both, depending, because you have to the Three Stooges kind of characters, when they come into the room and you have to knock over the candelabra to set off the trap but who knows, words like that, like, or uvula.
Yes, uvula,
come on, what other
course,
kid in class knew what a uvula was? Even like bridal, there were so many words that were like so complicated for kids at school. I'm like, you can't spell that. Like, that's easy.
Yeah, we spell it repeatedly. Yeah. D. Kennerly, good to see you. Welcome to stream. Yeah, Grindeslov also likes the idea of Nancy getting drunk and just sleeping through the whole adventure. Just the credits roll. I guess that's actually really... and yes, of course, Evil Tentacle learned what dumbwaiter was in Hugo 2. Yes, that's another one. I wish there was a dumbwaiter in the lodge, but I didn't fit it in there. Maybe in the future. Let's see.
Oh, Deluxe Text used to read a lot of Brit Lit and older books from the 30s and 40s. I love that. I love raiding my parents' bookshelf. In fact, my parents' bookshelf is in my garage right now, and all the books collected ever since, and all the books I've collected and my kids have collected, and now we have like a library up there. It's ridiculous.
I love that. I love a house with lots of books. It's the best. I guess, yeah, I mean, that's I think a pretty good impression of how you felt about and actually something else I wanted to ask you about the beta test. The beta test I think was chapters 2 and 3 and some of 4, although 4 is probably not working that well in the build you've got. But how does it compare to the demo in terms of the stuff you can do and difficulty, things like that?
Well, I didn't know what to do yet in the later times, so it was more difficult because I played the earlier stuff in the beta before. So all of a sudden I get to the point where I'm like, oh man, I can't remember. And then I couldn't remember a really simple, like, I don't know why I couldn't remember puzzle in the beginning, and it was just Jess was around, and I'm like, hey Jess, I know you did some beta testing, so can you remind me how to get the thing from, it was just for one of the chapter 2 puzzles there, and she's like, yeah, it was this. I'm like, and it's one of the ones that you would set up, like, it's really, this is obviously what it is. Could you spend a little bit more time investigating this issue to figure it out before you go asking your friends now? Like, I get it. That's why I ask her. It's late at night too, right? It's like, I didn't have to ask for that help. I was lazy and I asked for that help.
You could totally ask me. You can ask me at any point. You can message me at any point. I'm free hints all the way.
Okay, good.
Anytime you get stuck on anything, please let me know. D. Kennerly said he learned coagulate, or they learned coagulate from Police Quest 2.
Nice.
It's the only kid in science who knew the word. I love stuff like that.
And CB codes, right? Like I had memorized the CB codes, which meant when I was a little bit older and I got a CB radio, I could talk to the truckers. So I go on top of them, told me in my car, and I talked to them in their language so they didn't hate me.
Oh, that's adorable.
And it was funny, and we made friends in Seattle and over in the port and stuff, but it was all Police Quest, right? It's the only reason.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I've never heard anyone say that before. That's fantastic.
Makes you think. We hooked it right into the car so that it would blare out. So when my horn didn't work in my car, so when people got in my way, I'd yell honk honk really loud into the CB with the speaker on. Oh my goodness. God, the early 90s were fun.
Edenworth says, does Nancy have a cormorant familiar?
Nice.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a spoiler to say she doesn't. It sounds like a very Harry Potter thing for her to have, and it's a pretty mundane game. But I don't mean mundane like boring. I just mean very grounded in reality, in science and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, how to get down off of a duck. Yeah, you know what? That game taught me all about the Marx Brothers. I actually didn't know, and I'm like, oh, who'd they base this on? And then my parents started showing me the movies, and I learned about Groucho Marx
Oh,
and Harpo,
nice.
and I was like, I thought everybody knew everything about them, but my friends are all like, who are they, and why do you even care about them? I'm like, well, one of them sells a Saurus, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love all the references. It's funny how sometimes we learn these cultural references indirectly from these other
Mhm.
sources, not directly from whatever it might happen to be. And then when you see
Yeah,
the
they
real
were all
source, you're like, oh yeah, you can totally recognize it from the game backwards.
exactly. Well, they were all like they were older than us, like the
Mm-hmm.
people making
Oh
these
sure,
games.
yeah,
So these a lot of the references and music and ideas are like 20 years our senior
yep.
we wouldn't even normally have come across. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
their ideas came from their own parents and their own influences. So it was like wild.
Ronald Dragster asks, was beta test up for chapter 4? No. I mean, chapter 4 is pretty much done, but I'm still overhauling it. It's pretty much done. But I'm still setting up, making sure that the player knows how to progress properly through it. So I think Anna could finish it potentially, but it might be a little more difficult than it ought to be. But
Mhm.
I have to play through it myself and test it as well. I just wanted to catch up here. Oh, normal and
Excellent.
carrot was taught. Eden was taught those two words. Maximus learned lie, the two meanings of lie in Police Quest One. Couldn't understand why I'd want to tell the suspect to lie down. These games, they're a wonderful way to also learn to type, which is another whole other thing. Text parser games have is learning to touch typing at an early age, and you can type like a secretary by the time you're 8 years old. It's kind of amazing. All right. Looking for dinner and dog time, Dr. Mikachu. Thank you for the raid. That was amazing. We're gonna
Mm.
move quickly on to how you co-host the Classic Gamers Guild podcast, which is it's been sort of 130 episodes so far, which I was telling Anna that's quite an achievement. The latest episode was Richard Aronson, who was the voice of Cedric the Owl in King's Quest V, as well as being an amazing programmer, computer programmer, amongst other things. And as what I love about the Classic Gamers Guild podcast is they also have developers on, but not even just the big names, which they've had the big names. You've had Richard Garriott, Ken and Roberta Williams, Laurie and Corey Cole, and someone even like Noah Falstein, who worked at LucasArts and who worked on Loom and Indiana Jones and Fate of Atlantis. Not just the big name people though, but you also of course have more indie people like Francisco, obviously, of Grandislav Games, me, Tom Hardwidge of Lucy Dreaming, and I really appreciate. I just want to thank you guys for supporting and promoting the indie dev community as well. It's really awesome that you guys do that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of the idea is we have a love of this type of game, adventure games or games in the classic style. And that leads really naturally into supporting indie devs because a lot of indie devs, this is what they're doing now. This style
Mm-hmm.
is in, like the dry spell is over, and it has been over for a while thanks
Mm-hmm.
to people like Francisco Gonzalez and
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert, and more recently talking to other developers up and coming on the scene,
Yes.
Tom Hardwidge, and he did the Lucy Dreaming. There's just so much good games
Yeah.
happening right now.
Yes. It's really exciting. It is. I feel like there's been no better time to do it because if you're doing it, to do it because the tools are there, the electronic distribution is there. There are very few barriers to actually making a game and getting it out for people to play, and it's really exciting.
So yeah, I mean, get out there and have a listen. You can find us too. Julia will probably throw some links around, but Classic
Yes.
Gamers Guild is at
Yes.
cggpodcast.com. So you can also find us on YouTube now. We're around. We're also a group, the Classic Gamers Guild on Facebook, and
Yeah, I
there
just
we
threw
go.
up. I
All
threw up
that
the
beautiful
links.
stuff.
Yes, I threw up
I
the
love it.
links. Um, and there's a Patreon as well if you want to support the podcast, and I've got that as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
Oh,
if you $10 American or more, and we will repeatedly say your name at the end of every episode until even you are
awesome.
sick of hearing your own name. So get up on there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Grindeslav said he loved the Richard Aronson interview as well.
Yay. Oh,
And
he's got so much information.
other people weighing in on the typing. I saw a
Mhm.
comment saying that they were top of their class in the typing. Always time for tea. said they were top in their class for typing because of the text parser games. And also Sarah Cal 421 also said the same thing. Learned kids touch typing from a kids typing game. Um,
Exactly.
so many benefits. So many benefits to the genre. Fractal Mind
Oh,
Mike, good
and
to see you.
oh, David Home. Yes, David Home
Yes.
was a guest, and he was,
Yes.
of course, Don in Phantasmagoria 1, and it was a phenomenal episode and a phenomenal guest. Like, it was the kind of episode where everybody was hanging out in the living room. We were kind of having a beer, and we were talking about the industry and what was going on and stories, and none of ours, because, you know, the hosts weren't what the episode was about. Like, we were there to hear about David, and that's what we did. It was just so much fun.
And I think I saw on Twitter that they have some of the original, what was it, the footage and stuff, and now they're remastering a lot of the images from Phantasmagoria too. Do you
Oh
know
gosh, yeah. No, I haven't heard about that. That's
David
pretty sweet. I
David
bet
Lee
somebody in
Hom?
chat does.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
weigh in on that because I saw something on Twitter and it looked super crystal clear and I was very
hmm
impressed.
hmm Actually, yeah, we're going to be having David home. Hi, you're out there back on the show. We just have to get together with a date with everybody in summer holidays and things. It's been busy.
Yes, no, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Sir Highbury, Rick says that you guys apparently almost killed Richard Aaronson's falsetto. Is that true, Anna?
Well, no, it's harder for him to do, and he gave it a
Hmm.
couple of really good efforts, and you can you know what, he talks about it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really interesting how he gives a trademark secret about how he makes it happen
Oh,
in the
really?
episode.
Oh
So
dear.
anybody
Okay.
here that's heard it has heard that, right? It's pretty cool.
Oh yay, David Lee Hom is having a beer and having fun with us. Awesome. I'm having tea with my big mug. And speaking of that, we will talk about the coasters. But I did want to ask you more
Mhm.
about the podcast stuff.
Let's see.
Let's. Oh, who do we have? Yeah, I'm glad there's two of us here because it's really great to keep on top of chat this way. 'Cause it's moving
Mhm.
super fast, you guys. It's awesome to have people. You
Yeah,
know.
I just so y'all know, I am able to read every single comment. I got it up on a big screen right in front of me here. So even though I'm not commenting on everything, I am reading everything going by as we're chatting. So,
Nice. Good. 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 Yeah, I think we were talking before we went live about the different types of episodes there are. So there's the developer interview episodes. You've got retrospectives. You guys sometimes take just a year in gaming and talk about that year in gaming, or you'll talk about just your own personal opinions of stuff like games you've changed your mind on, for instance. Um,
hmm
I guess it's good to have that variety. Is there a particular type of episode that you like to do more than others, or does it matter just on your mood at the time?
yeah, totally on mood
Hmm.
and preparation. Interviews with somebody chatty is often the easiest. The ones where we have to come up with content,
Mm-hmm.
like if it's any sort of a game or if we have to come up with ideas, that takes more work. And the year in
Mm-hmm.
retrospective is nice because you can kind of look at what's happening and talk about it, so it's a little bit more conversational,
Mm-hmm.
and hey, what big boxes do I have, and things like that. So they definitely, like, they all fit into time zone categories
Yeah, I
for
see.
us. That and the preparation, right? Some interviews we have to book a few months in advance, some we need like 2 weeks in advance. So the time coordination between three people in three different time zones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there an episode type that you want to do and haven't had a chance to do, or an episode subject that you haven't been able to get around to yet?
There's a few,
Oh, David
actually.
Lee Hom, thanks for the follow. Awesome. And Simon Lee also thanks for the follow. Awesome.
How does it feel to be the one being interviewed? Yeah, this is like the first time. Even on our own three people ones, I like to interview you guys. So I like interviewing people. It feels weird to be asked questions. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to have an answer too.
It's a chat. We're not doing an interview. We're just having a
Hmm.
friendly chat with other people watching.
Yeah, just one or two. That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
just a few. Just a few.
Mhm,
But yeah,
mhm.
do you have is a particular type that you like to do the most, or a type that you haven't gotten to do that you'd like to do, or just a subject that you haven't had been able to cover yet?
Yeah, well, recently, yeah, we've had a few. Like, I'm not going to give out what our next few episodes are, but there's, like, I want to talk about a time personally when there wasn't as much in the way of adventure games. So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of time period, that's one
Oh.
that we have on the back burner. Yeah, and there's a few different game feature highlights. Of course, Rick wants more episodes on Gold Rush. Now, the nice thing about being on microphone without them is they can't interrupt me when I'm talking, so that's good. Yeah, they can just talk. Hey, 32-bit kid too. There's so many lovely people here.
Yes,
But yeah,
good to see you.
there's a few because we've had a lot of interview episodes lately, so we haven't had as many like just chatty episodes and stuff. And it's funny because like different people like different kinds of episodes, so it's nice to keep getting the mix out there.
Yeah, the variety is really good. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of when I asked Anna on here in the first place, is because this would have been the third art stream in a row, and I thought I need to mix this up a little bit, and we have never had a guest on, and I thought my first thought was, you know, Anna would be perfect to have on because Anna's awesome and she can talk just and talk and talk and talk, and she knows a lot of stuff about games. She's been beta testing, and it's just, and also, well, not that this was a factor, but I guess it's a side benefit, is that, yeah, I mean, Classic Gamers Guild podcast, I'm not sure if I can say this, does want to do some video part to your podcast, and this is a good way to kind of ease into that type of a format potentially. And I hope you guys do it because I think people love that aspect of it too, the visual aspect.
Yeah, some people have said that, and it's hard to figure out. Like, we were talking about what platform to be on. Rick put a bit of a post in the guild saying, hey, what do you guys think if we were like, should we stay with the podcast, should we jump just onto YouTube? And the consensus seemed to be everybody wanted everything. So
of course,
right now, I mean, okay, everybody has everything, and that's fine. And so it would be nice to be able to incorporate more of the aspects available to different platforms to be able to have different kinds of episodes sometimes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like pure audio for like working and stuff, but it is nice. I know when Rick puts the videos up on YouTube, he'll put like a slideshow to it, and I love that part of it too. I think it's really nice.
Yeah, some of the bigger interviews got stuff like that. People like Allo or
yes. No, those are really good. I'm looking forward to some video with you guys. So it'll be nice. Is there an Anna character in Crimson Diamond, 16 colors and all? I think we might have frozen a little bit. Hopefully we're not chugging too bad.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking down.
Hopefully people can still hear us.
Yeah, hopefully.
And hopefully that'll catch up. Let us know if things are frozen horribly for you guys, and if you can hear. Okay, can hear us. Good. Okay. Not sure why it's chugging that way. But hopefully this will catch up at some point.
It's funny, we're both looking the same way, even though we're not in the same room, though. That amuses me.
I guess that's where the chat is. We're both looking where the chat is. Okay, you can hear us just fine. Why is this happening, though?
Well, now it's just a podcast episode, so I'm comfortable.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's like an interactive podcast episode. We can have guests.
Yeah. This actually is not that bad, but I might have to restart or something. You know what? Let's give it.
Yeah. She's going to be showing it off even with 17, the
yes,
EGA portrait.
I did.
Once we have video representation back.
Yes, once we do. I'm going to give it 6 minutes, and if we are still frozen like that, I might have to restart OBS. So yeah, but while we're frozen like this, I guess we can go into the next thing I wanted to talk about, because speaking of your co-hosts Rick and Paul on the podcast, the CGG Podcast, the two of them and you as well are working on a point-and-click adventure game.
Yes, that would be the Phantom Fellows.
Yes.
So point and click. It's not parser, so it's a little different on that aspect, but yeah, still it's a great game, right? It's about two guys and they're best friends, and one of them's already dead, and it's like you're like, is it, you look at it and you'd be like, oh, what is it in the style of? And it's not like, it's kind of like in the style of chunky Sierra. Like, I haven't played, some people say Dark Side Detective. I haven't actually played Dark Side Detective, so I can't really compare it to something like that. But it's got like those big, funky, beautiful pixels. It's got like really cool lighting effects, and a sense of humor, and like alternative ways of doing things. And
good.
You know, deaths. So all the things that make me happy in an adventure game.
All the stuff we like to see, death.
Yeah, death is good. Death makes me happy. If it's not there, you know, I feel like it's not super realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think in realism is what we're going for here, after all.
Yeah, and not meaningless deaths, like, oh, you walked across the screen and now you're dead. Ha ha. Like, you know, a death that's kind of like, oh man, don't light yourself on fire. Oh, you lit yourself on fire. Well, now you're dead. Like, you know, not literally, maybe, But
Let's see. Did someone say try disabling and enabling the camera in OBS? Cameras in OBS. Okay, I'll try that. Disable. It was hard enough to get them to work in the first place, but I don't know how to disable them. Settings. Let me try.
It's true, right? Fractal Mind Mike. Deaths are a great opportunity for comedy and levity when you're frustrated and trying to solve a game. Exactly. It's kind of like, it's a breaking point. It's kind of like, oh man, you know what? You can't figure anything out. I'm just going to do the stupid thing. Or for me, the stupid thing is the first thing that I do. And then, most of us classic gamers know to save, right? Like there's an auto save function in the Crimson Diamond. And
yes.
I don't trust it. I mean, no offense to your game.
Well, I haven't tested it thoroughly yet, so no, don't. You're right not to.
Yeah, it's a generalized thing about autosave. I'm going to save it. And I thought that I was paranoid because I didn't trust the autosave, but my husband actually will go in and save it. I see him every time he quits a game. He saves it, and then he saves it twice, and then he quits. I'm like, okay, well, that's a little bit more than me.
Save twice, quit once is the saying, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do something that should probably kill you to die. No unfair deaths. Exactly. Right? It just makes sense.
I'm going to try just to add it as a completely new camera or something.
Yeah, okay.
And see if that'll make things better or worse. No. Yeah, and we might have to, in fact... restart, unfortunately.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh, now
why
there's
does
two
the
of
bridge
me.
Keep breaking.
That
No,
are frozen.
now there is.
Oh, now there's three of me that's frozen. See that?
Oh, I see that. Yeah, you're moving them around. It's like a Julia puzzle. Like those tile puzzles. You can slide them around and make.
Oh man.
You win.
Oh, we all lost though. We all lost.
Damn it. But hang on, yeah, I was saying, where is it? Bill Kuhn was saying, can't figure out why the King's Quest 2 bridge keeps breaking. In those games when I was a kid, I think I lucked into just trying to cross the bridge in these games a whole bunch of times right away and learning that it broke. And I think that I did the same thing in King's Quest 4 with the shovel. I just kept digging, and then it breaks right away, and you're like, oh, and it wasn't even to like suss out that you could only use it so many times. It was just me being like a kid and being like, oh, I'm gonna walk across the bridge like 15 times. And it works, right? You learn quickly.
Yeah, I switched scenes, which is what Fractal Mind Mike suggested, and now we don't have any of ourselves. Hunter Game Dev, thank you for the follow. As we experience this, it's good actually that you did that because the follow notification would have been blocked.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah. Yes. So hold on, I'm gonna we still work notifications. We still are working. So let's put that one on top. Okay. But yeah, the camera stuff has completely gone away, which is a problem. It's not the worst problem because they can still hear us, but I would prefer if they could see us.
Everyone wants to see our Canadian faces shining in the crimson diamond sunshine.
Yes. Why will you know? Okay, so what I might have to do, you guys, is I might have to stop and start the stream again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and Phantom Fellows, our deaths are mostly inspired by Maniac Mansion and Quest for Glory. I just wanted to say that first. Yes, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Stay tuned to be continued. I'm going to stop us and start us again. If that doesn't work, I might have to completely restart my computer again, and then come back with Anna. So please be patient. We're not going anywhere. We'll be back in some capacity or other.
Be right back.
But yes, be right back. Because immediately everything was fine.
Good.
Okay.
Do I have to restart? What should I do to get back in here?
No, you should be still there. Hopefully. Well, we're back. So yeah, it should be the same.
Oh, good. Okay, everyone's saying yay, so that's a good thing.
I hope. Okay. I hope. Oh, whoops. Okay, yes, welcome
good.
back.
Yes, I see us. Yay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, good.
We're here.
Well, so even if things go like that, it's relatively easy to correct it. So that's good. Good. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, so we're talking about Phantom Fellows. So what I was going to do is, now that we've gotten the camera back, I'm actually going to take us to a web browser to show Phantom Fellows. So that was necessary. Okay. Okay, so the Phantom Fellows. on Steam.
Thanks for the follow, Fractal Mind Mike. He's actually following my actual Twitch. You're giving me a reason. The last time I streamed, I was streaming Leisure Suit Larry games, and I did like a fundraiser for Stephen Alexander with Sir Highbury here. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, I hope you guys get back onto some video stuff. Here we go. Okay, great. So those are the Phantom Fellows. Rick Esley. Oh wait, wrong one. Phantom Fellows point and click comedy adventure by Stormer Games. Demo available at, and I'm going to take us to. Oh, that was supposed to do something. No, Shift 8. Here we go. Okay, so here it is. The screen now should be showing Phantom Fellows Steam page, and we have, you can see here, the kind of a trailer playing, give you an idea of what it looks like, how it plays. It's got great art. Paul is doing the art. He seems to be talented naturally with the art, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like make some art and do a thing, and there it is. Like, there's the thing.
Yeah, there is the thing.
Because like just anybody can do that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it seems so. Because what he's done so far is extremely impressive. And here's just some screenshots and everything. There is a demo available on the Steam page, so please play. I have played it. I did get stuck a little bit though. But so I'm gonna have to get back into it again. But look at the screen is wonderful. Just great graphics here.
Look at the lighting effects, man! I can't get over how cool the lights look, and it's like just so pretty.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, beta testing, isn't he? He's so talented.
Yes.
Yeah, and apparently you're probably going to do the music too, right? Because Paul does music. I don't know if anybody's heard. He does this thing. It's called the Volume Remote. You can Google it. The music's free. It's really catchy. Check it out.
Oh, how long is the demo? Fractal Mind Mike wants to know if...
Well, for me, if you've never played it before and you go in and you don't really know a lot about that kind of a game, probably about an hour and a half at the most, but probably not actually, maybe closer down to like an hour. Okay, I'm going to say an hour. It's not like super long.
Okay.
Like I when I go through, I just wanted to click on everything and see what was going on.
Yes.
And it was really neat because like they also did a lot of what you did. It's just like, oh, I'm going to click here and it's going to tell you what it is. Even if you don't need it or whatever, it's still a thing. Like, it's not there. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So please, everyone, Phantom Fellows on Steam, play the demo, wishlist it, all the good stuff. Yes. So half a stream, yeah, because Fractal Mind Mike actually streamed the Crimson Diamond demo, just completely fresh, and it was kind of awesome to see him play that. And I recommend to you, Rick and Paul, if you ever get the chance to watch someone stream live your demo, take up that offer, because it's really educational to watch people play through it, see what they get stuck on, see what they enjoy, all that. It's just, there's so much learning to be had when you're watching someone react to it live. Yes. And yeah, so we have a couple more things. Oh my gosh, Anna, it's like 8:50.
I don't even know how this is happening.
I know. And there's two more things I want to cover.
Okay.
And so the first thing, of course, is I mentioned that you own your own business in Victoria, BC. Translucent finishing, custom wood finishes, custom built wood furniture. You also do knife blocks, cutting boards, and coasters, of which we are seeing on the right-hand side here. And I want to show quickly, some of your stuff, because I'm a big fan.
Thanks.
And I'm going to just show this stuff. So the first thing, of course, everyone, I've got this. Anna was kind enough to send me this giant coaster. It's like this bigger than my hand, and I love it so much. Made of what? Douglas fir, you said, Anna, and maple?
You got it.
And so was this one of those things where it was reclaimed wood or end cuts?
Everything, every time, like, the coasters are the smallest of the small pieces. These are the pieces, and actually there's one more step after the coasters. So you take the ends from that coaster and you put them up on their side, and we do edge grain cutting boards, which are actually the more expensive ones, but technically take the tiniest little pieces of wood. So that's part of the center strip would have been from a cabinet, and the outside of it is actually just from some fur that we had here. So
I love that. I love that you're taking bits that would have been thrown away, and you make these beautiful objects.
Aw, thank you.
So that's one of them. And then, of course, I also have shown these before on stream, these beautiful coasters with that live edge, which I learned that term from you, where you have that bark on it still. And this was fruit wood, I believe you guys were telling me when I bought it when I came to visit you in Victoria.
That's right. Yeah, right from our little university district, actually. Yeah, just from right around here. Because there's so much cool wood to salvage. People don't know what to do with it. And a lot of times you can't do a lot with the little pieces, which is why the coasters are nice, because it just takes the branches and gives them a new life. And they look so cool.
Yeah, they really are one of a kind items. You get to see this beautiful grain to them. And they're functional too, So these are my 4 that I bought.
Every time you see me looking down and giggling, I'm laughing at the chat going by. You guys are, this is just like the funnest chat. Oh my God, I almost feel like I like being here with you, but I'm like, I like being in the chat too. It's so much fun hanging out with everybody that comes to your streams. You have like the coolest crew that comes out here every time.
And I agree.
I've become so familiar, and and everybody knows so much about your game and the other games. Anyways, go on. I just wanted to say everybody here in chat is so awesome.
Yes, I know, we're really fortunate, and it was Dan's idea to start streaming in the first place, and I'm so grateful and glad that we did, because with everything being shut down, it's been a good social outlet, and it's been good to just meet up every week and have see familiar faces, see new people, and just have a nice chat. Really, it's lovely. Fractal Mind Mike is asking, are they resin treated, Anna, the coasters?
Yeah, actually, so everything we do, we spray a catalyzed finish, which means it's pre-catalyzed. They do it at the actual paint place, and then we have like a big compressor air system, so we spray it with the gun. Each of those has 3 coats of a cabinet grade UV resistant finish, and then of course it's hand sanded between every coat, and then sometimes you have to like inject a tiny bit of glue or something where the bark is, because it's going to fall apart otherwise. A lot of these are, you have to be very careful with, but they also have to be like deadly flat and deadly, able to handle whatever you're going to put on top of it. So you got to make sure it's already fully dry. It's not going to warp or like do anything crazy on you.
Yes. Yes, Anna's wood is the best. And they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous, functional, and you don't sell these for very much either. I mean, these were it's wonderful that you have these beautiful items, but they're not really out of reach for people, because everyone can enjoy them. I think that's really wonderful that you do that. Yeah,
price wise, I mean, everybody should be able to get something beautiful in their home and not have to be a millionaire, and not I mean, and that's the other thing. It's like a cutting board. If you're spending 40, 50, 60 bucks, like, and it's going to last a couple of years, you're going to use it, and that's fine, right? That's a reasonable thing, because you're cutting it, right? You're literally, I'm giving you something and you're going to put a knife into it. So it's not like you're babying this thing, right? So you got to use the hell out of it. I like things to be practical, but all of that's just, we usually work with contractors. So normally we're just doing like the bigger projects. So this stuff is the fun stuff.
Yes. And of course, the last slide here is the necklace that I'm wearing right now. Which Anna and I did barter with. So someone did mention Anna's portrait in chat, and I'm actually going to grab that from a different scene.
Australian shipping is hardcore, but it's getting smaller. I have a business account with Canada Post, since you're saying that, Fractal Mind Mike. So I've shipped a cutting board, which was way too expensive for the shipping initially, to my friend Jess in Australia. Hi Jess, I know you're listening later on.
Yes.
And then I've been able to bring the price down over the years, and now I think I can do it for cheaper than I can send it to Norway.
Oh, nice. So yeah, here is this is Anna and I bartered. If I can just grab it for some reason. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so this is the portrait I bartered with Anna. So I made this for her, and Anna made this. It's a beautiful hand carved.
There we go. I think we look the same.
Absolutely.
Totally. Like, she did so good.
But yeah, this is a piece of maple wood that was hand carved, and Anna finished it. And we went down to, was it like Chinatown in Victoria, and we got the wire hanging for it and everything. But yeah, this is something I love wearing. I try to wear this too when I show the Crimson Diamond at events and everything. It's my little thing. It's a fond memory. So
thank you. Little touch of Canadiana you can wear all the time.
Yes.
It connects with so many things in our lives.
Yes. So that's this one, but I also wanted to shift this stuff. Okay, I wanted to also show some other stuff, because I wanted to show other aspects of Anna's businesses and what she does, because she does so many amazing things. We have Anna mentioned the cutting boards and stuff, and so look at the gorgeous different types of wood that are on display here. And how much were these cutting boards, Anna, when you were selling them?
Yeah, so that run there is $45 and up, depends on the board that you're looking at. It gets more expensive. You know, the salvaged woods are a little bit less. You get up more towards the purple heart and the maples. It gets a little bit more, but you know, the max of any of those is 65. So yeah, it's reasonable. I want it in your house, and I want you to use the hell out of it and not feel bad. And if something happens, something happens, and it's just, you know, enjoy the wood. Don't look at it, use it.
Yes, absolutely. And Rick, Sir Highbury is saying, yeah, I do portrait commissions as well. I do take those on from time to time. So if you are interested in one, you can message me or email me. Actually, there's an email on thecrimsondiamond.com, which I guess I should link.
And Bill, yeah, so they are totally not dishwasher safe. You wipe them off and you put them away. They all have little handles on them. You can store them sideways, or you can hang them up. You can put feet on one side, but they're all double-sided, so you can do like meat on one side and veg on the other. And if you want to like disinfect it, I use vinegar and baking soda, and I leave it on in a paste. You can use bleach.
Nice.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. Oil it every couple of months if you want it to last longer. So
nice.
Because wood needs the moisture, right? It like when you're washing it and you're using it, you're keeping it healthy. If you store it away and you look at it, it's going to get dried out because it's wood, right? So it wants to be used because it doesn't have a finish. The same way, like your coasters won't change; they have a finish. But like the cutting boards, it's oil, right? So it goes away eventually.
Right. So always time for tea. Thank you. 5 a.m. Holy cow.
Oh, wow.
Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by as usual. Anna, so you mentioned oil. What kind of oil would you recommend to treat these with?
Yeah, so we use Watco's Butcher Block oil. We choose it specifically because of the shine, and you can see it on these boards. It makes it so like when we're presenting at shows and stuff, you've got a really hard, the closest to like a cabinet grade finish that's food safe that you can use on the wood. If you're at home, you can use that. You can actually buy it at Home Depot. We apply it with a cotton cloth, but that's got about 3 coats, but you can also use like linseed oil. It's very reasonable and easy to work with, and it doesn't have as much of like the smell going. This stuff, like it stinks.
I see.
Right? Until it dries. But the Watco's or even linseed oil, mineral oil, if you know, as long as you're putting something on there every couple of months to kind of keep it smooth. Yeah, massage oil, if it's unscented, I mean, if you will take a tablespoon of your massage oil and eat it, then yes. Otherwise, no. But grapeseed oil, if you use that as massage oil, then yes. Coconut oil, you could, yeah.
So here's an example of like the coasters are very similar to the one that I have, and you're selling them for $5 each. It's kind of amazing that you can have that on offer for such a reasonable price for something that's essentially made by hand.
Yeah, every time, every step of the way, hand sanded and touched. Each one of those pieces has been touched a lot of times.
Yeah, for sure. And here is an example of what the main business is, of course. Oh, nice. Thank you. Uhafu Kusu. Thank you for the subscription. Startail. Thank you. And
Yes, to Jeffy, can I make a wooden floppy disk coaster? Well, I mean, we can do just about anything if it's custom work. If you want to pay for it, we can make it. But one small thing tends to run a little bit unreasonable. And to be honest, though, eventually, eventually we want to get a laser etching machine, and then I want to be able to put like Sierra characters into the wood coasters and onto the cutting boards, people's names and personalized. But I got to fundraise. You know, you need about 10 grand, so that's the next step. Yeah.
But Startail, yes, these are $5 each. These ones here.
Yep.
And
$5 closer.
Yes. So. And I guess you would sell them at craft fairs and things, and also sometimes by mail as well. Yeah. And so Anna, tell me about this one here. So this is the main business of
so mostly this is one we did for a doctor's office. We're currently doing work for this doctor now. So that's the Island Water Blue. You've got like the kind of waterfall marble, and then we took their cabinets and changed them to white and then brought them up to the ceiling because they weren't up to the ceiling before. So this is another one of those like fun jobs, because normally we're at the shop finishing doors in 20 different versions of white dove, simply white, designer white, cloud white. They're just all white. That's it. You can even see this, like, how do I get a bloody picture when everything is so white? Like everything is so oversaturated, right?
Goku, and thanks for the subscription. Awesome. So what is your favorite color white, Anna, then?
Yeah, what is my favorite color? White. There is not a single spot of it in my house. Like, on anything that we have done, there just isn't any. We have I've got purple in my kitchen. Nice. I've got grays. I've got, anything but white. Natural wood, just no white. Salted maple counters. Oh yeah, no white.
Here's another one. You'll see it soon. It's built-in, I guess, shelves and cabinetry. A
Yeah,
job
yeah.
on the go.
Just some custom work, solid white again with you've
Yeah.
got the vertical grain fur that's stained because dark stained vertical grain
Mm.
fur is very in. Designers love working with that stuff. So it
Mm.
gives you that like bold contrast.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I love the fact that you don't use any white in your own home. I think it's wonderful.
Not a bit. No, we see too much of it. I'm so excited when somebody tells us, like, right now we're going to do navy hail on somebody's like stove hood.
Mm.
It's for our landlord too. So I'm like, well, that's our rent for a month. So perfect.
Fantastic. Oh, is this a playtester stream, Day of War? Oh wait. This is Anna CGG, Day of War. So she's the
Yeah.
co-host of the Classic Gamers Guild podcast. She has her own business with her husband, doing beautiful work like this, and the coasters that you saw, cutting boards, everything with the reclaimed wood. And she's been beta testing 2 games. She's been beta testing the Crimson Diamond, and she's beta testing the Phantom Fellows, for Rick and Paul. Oops, I totally didn't do that right. I can spell an acronym. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. And so the next one is not white. It's actually beautiful wood grain. I want to know what kind of wood these particular cabinets are. It's a fantastic one.
Thanks. That one's actually right on top of Mount Tomey. It's got these really cool views, and that one's cherry wood, all of it. So in a clear, that's actually got no stain on it. That's a clear finish. Again, all custom, done by like Heather and Co., which is now a Calgary design company for all the interior design work. She did a great job with this house.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And then you also sometimes do, I guess, scratch repair on stuff as well.
On-site touch-up and repair. Yep, yeah. Pay us per hour, probably more than you want to, and we will make something that's all like, say your dog ate the corner of your banister, or some like stupid mover scratched your wooden floor diagonally across the grain. So I'll come to your house. We've got a kit, and we will not only fill everything back in and full finish it, repaint the lines, and make it look just like it looked before. So beautiful. That's kind of a service that we offer.
That's awesome. And here is what
see you, Rick. Bye, Rick. Thanks for coming in for the stream. It was nice to see you.
Yes, thank you. And Jim, inset shelves are the best. They're so just sleek and practical. And safe too. I mean, you don't have to worry about tip over or things like that.
So you've brought up a good example of a really cool end grain cutting board. Yes. So those are the tiny pieces that didn't make it into coasters. We went with specific types of wood because the person that bought it wanted a variety. So there's like each wood in it had meaning to the buyer. The one on the bottom, there's like rosewood and poplar. And anyways, yeah. So those are the fun, big, thick ones, and those are huge.
The butcher blocks, I suppose.
Yeah.
No, I think it's wonderful. Even the tiniest pieces of wood you are using to make something beautiful, and I really respect that. I think it's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, if we can't make something out of it, we'll burn it and heat the home.
Oh, amazing! Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So we'll use every single last bit of it. Yeah, all the way down.
Makes me happy to hear. And that's that one. So that's that. I've got multiple slideshows of Anna's amazing work. So here we go. This is the stuff she's just sent me. So more recent work, I suppose, because what happens when people are busy, when business owners that run their own business are busy, they don't often get a chance to update their site or Facebook or whatever, Instagram, with the most recent stuff. So here we are looking at the stuff that you won't find on Anna's Instagram or her Facebook page, which I will link in the chat, Translucent Finishing. But you won't find this because she's been too busy to update her site, which is what happens when you're busy.
Yeah. No, I said, until this job is done, I can't do another darn thing. I'm trying to push it for a deadline in Friday, and oh my God. So, yeah.
But yes, what are these pieces that we're looking at here? What are you doing with them?
Those are the Island Water Blue stain shelves that went into, there's one of the pictures I sent you is like this big bookshelf, and on top of the bookshelf has a big slab of Western maple that's 12 feet long that we actually sourced from a place that's now no longer an active logging area. It was a piece of wood that was salvaged from this gigantic shredder machine. So we had to drive up island and get this piece and then mill it and bring it down to thickness and create all these pieces. So those are actually, again, refinished shelves. They were fire engine red the last time we refinished them, and before that they were clear. It's an old oak examination table and shelving system from like the 1970s. So we just were like pizzazzing it.
Nice. I love that. I love the color change for sure. Deluxe Text says, Witch Stranding is streaming art right now. It's like 2 Crimson Couture days in one. Yeah, Witch Stranding is a project I'm working on with Zalaver Nelson Jr. of Strange Scaffold, and I did the art for it. And he's streaming at Rit Nelson on Twitch, I believe is what his Twitch handle is. And yeah, it's really fascinating to watch that developer process because it's actually a side of it I don't really see. I just have done the art for it.
I missed it there too. Somebody commented on the Summer Days shirt. You know what? I got that shirt because we actually got to work at PAX with Lori and Corey Cole promoting Summer Days, and all of us that were there at PAX together got these awesome T-shirts, which I edited all cute because Roberta, who's in chat here, showed me that T-shirts like men's T-shirts look adorable on a girl if you just edit them a little bit. So I was like, oh my God, this American girl's got style. So anyways,
you did a good job.
That's where it went.
It looks very, 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 very nice. Ronald Dragster says, does Crimson Diamond have art inspired by the magical woodwork that Anna does? Not necessarily, but the kitchen is wood cabinetry. But I mean, you're not seeing, it's all very basic stuff, unfortunately. Yeah. Let's go to that.
Yeah, it's always hard to wax your Brazilian redwood.
That's about 3 different puns, probably.
I was hoping to make you groan and leave. Don't go, really. Don't. When Julie was visiting, I kept making puns, and you're the most wonderful person to give a pun to because you're so reactionary. I can visibly see the pun irritating your hackles, and it feels so good. So thank you for that.
Well, I kind of think it make it too easy for people to want to, but I appreciate that you are enjoying making me suffer.
Oh yeah, that's it's upside down. Did I send it to you upside down? No. That's why, yeah. No.
OBS does this weird thing that is really annoying, and I'm trying to even select the right window for it because I haven't locked anything down and it's just a mess. But I'm looking at. I will fix it when I find. Okay, it's this one. Okay, great. Okay, I can flip this. And I don't know why it does that, but here it is.
It's still upside down. No, there you go. Now you got it. Yeah, that is a weird perspective because it's a really big room, and that was just the examination table in the wood. So it's kind of this wide angle lens thing.
So this is in your workshop, right?
This is just the back room.
Right, and this is for drying.
Yeah, that's the dry room. So no action happens in this room. It's a static room. It's confusing people. I see that. Yeah, I know. It's like I said, it's that fisheye lens thing. It's weird.
We'll move on. So this probably is also upside down now because
probably.
And I don't know why OBS will do that, but it just likes to make things a bit more tricky and interesting. But yeah, here it is. Here's a close up of, I guess. So you would have sprayed these. So how many coats of spray do things take before they're finished?
If it's just a clear coat, it's usually 3. If it is a solid coat, you've got your 2 primer and your 2 color. Some of them are specialty, so you have 2 primer, 2 color, and 2 clear on top of that. It really depends. If it's really crappy material, like we had this really crappy MDF, it's like 4 coats of primer.
Oh wow!
And then you move on, but you always have to sand between every coat, and different kinds of sanding between every coat too. Yeah, I bet. Okay.
Anyway, says wincing too much will create pun lines instead of crow's feet. I'm gonna get pun lines for sure, because I mean, working with Dan and then working, and talking to Anna just now, it's a bit much for me. It's a bit much. But let's move on to let's see what else we have. So this is the table you were talking about, I believe, the 12-foot long. Was it reclaimed piece from the where did you save this from again?
It's actually from Fairy Creek, which has been in the news a lot recently. The protesters were protesting, and they actually were able to stop the logging in Fairy Creek. BC's just been kind of ravaged by logging since the 1980s, and of course the protesters didn't leave. They're still protesting there, but that's besides the point. It's a whole nother issue. But yeah, all of the wood that was being forested there were just being sent through this massive shredder and just being completely destroyed. So Bondman Timber, which is a place up island here, they were in to be able to salvage some of it, and we were able to buy it off of them for extravagant prices.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece.
It didn't look like that when we first got it, I tell you what.
Oh my gosh, I want to see it before, but that's it's absolutely gorgeous. Fact of mine, I hope the Crimson Diamond meets the pun quota, or it's going to get butchered in the fan reviews.
Yeah, nice.
I did fall to temptation. I do have a few puns in the game after all, but it's just a few. Nicole Etter. I got that. Nicole Adder, good to see you. Thanks for the follow. Amazing. Thank you
Hi,
so much.
Nicole.
Yes. Hello. Like I said, good to see Guilders. Also, this is probably also upside down. Is this upside down, Anna? When it comes to
Yeah, it's upside down.
okay, I will flip it.
This is something now. Okay, that Roberta, that's in the mail right now, heading to Forks, BC, for Roberta's dad, and it's been a long time coming because I had to completely redo our finishing area into a different zone for the cutting boards. So that's Purple Heart and Maple.
It's
So
beautiful.
It's gonna be, yeah.
So let's see. Bill Kuhn is going to clear some of this up for us. iPhones at least have a native down direction with the home button position on the left. If you rotate it so the home button is on the right, the phone records the orientation of the camera, but also the native down direction. Some viewing programs ignore the orientation code of the camera, so it appears upside down when imported. Ugh. Ugh. I'm just trying to catch up a little bit on the chat. Okay, great.
Oh, and Nicole, yes, I said hi to you. This thing does well. Yes.
Yes, I am
That is a
committed
good
to old school adventure
Mm-hmm.
game dev, which you always will have a pun or two. So yes, I had to commit to just a few to meet that quota. And I don't know, this was one you sent me as well. So this is a close up of grain or a repair or
Yeah, that's just the grain and a knot which was having some repair work done, and yeah, just to show a little bit of shine and a little bit of funk because some of the maple kind of has quilting going on, some of it has spalting, so you've got some really cool characteristics.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And this piece, I think this is a doctor's office. It's a beautiful, the color is amazing on this piece. It's like a teal and red doctor's bench.
Yeah, it's his examination table. It used to be, that's the one that was fire engine red. It now has a car finish on it, so it's pretty snazzy. If you see it in the light, it's very sparkly. So it's a third life for this.
That's great.
For old ugly oak examination table that now has like a modern stylish kind of like wild finish on it because he's a pediatrician, so it's for kids, right? This is a kid's doctor. Yeah,
that's amazing. It's beautiful. Fractal Mind Mike says, I love the bow tie knot repair jobs I've seen around. Have you tried those, Anna?
Yeah, we actually do it only for the look now. We don't use it for repairs most of the time, but some people just absolutely love the look of the bow tie. So yeah, we've put them together a couple of times. It's a bit of work. It's not the way that I choose to put things together, but it is certainly a very cool look. So yeah, we've done that a couple of times.
This shot is, I guess, some some custom shelving as well. I love the shine that I'm seeing on the top of these built-in shelves.
These ones too, they have a very specific type of a very hard finish. It gives you that extra shine, even though like this is in a satin finish, so it's not even a gloss.
Oh, wow.
The main desk is in a gloss because if you get a desk out of a satin finish, your elbows will rub and rub and rub, and you'll end up getting a gloss finish anyways.
Yes.
So a shelf like this you can have in a satin, but a desk you want to make kind of in a gloss, so there's the rub. Like my desk is made out of poplar and Purple Heart with like a live edge on the front, and the same, it's just we did it all in the gloss so it won't wear off.
Oh, that's so cool. I never considered that. And this is a custom built-in. I love the built-in, even the desks are amazing because they're just flush. They're gloriously flush to the nook that they're in. And a great color as well. Is this also the doctor's office because it's matching that same color?
This is the same office, and there's going to be a third desk. The waterfall desk is going to go in there too. But yeah, again, they brought in and put in a laminate top, and he's like, get that thing out of here and put a real top on this sucker. That thing, it doesn't look huge in this picture, but it is a beast. Like you can kind of like almost lie down on it. It's like just just about 5 feet long, and it's almost 4 feet going back to the back of it. So it's a big guy.
Anna and I are pretty short, so 5 foot is, you can definitely lie down on that. Tab 2 GG, good evening, good to see you. See, this is another upside down one. Hold on, I'm gonna flip this.
Yeah.
I think
that's just the most recent picture and probably the last one. It's the desk we're working on now. It's the waterfall desk, so the grain matches all the way across the top and all down the side, and all the drawers, once they're on, those aren't the proper drawer fronts yet, they're just the insets, but they all match as well, flowing downwards, and all of that is Western maple. So this is going to be affixed to the wall. There's a little notch cut out for a pillar, and it's all got soft close drawers, and apparently it's going to be installed by Friday, and that was only yesterday, so wish me luck, guys.
Good luck. This is beautiful. Yeah, it's great to see it just in this state, just the process of it. And this is the workshop as well that you guys have. Lovely, 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 lovely. I think that's the last. I think now we are getting on with this one more thing. I know, Anna, it's 9:15 for Eastern
I know,
time.
I know. Okay, we have to talk about
Okay.
rocks before I go though.
Okay, okay,
We can't
okay.
skip the rocks. Come
Okay,
on.
okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to quickly do this because Anna said, I promised Anna, yeah, 9 was her cutoff Eastern. And so we've already, in true Crimson Tuesday fashion, we are running late. This piece, these are four rocks that I bought when I was visiting Anna in Victoria. Well, not three of them I bought. One of them was a gift that I got when I visited Anna in Victoria 2 years ago. Upper left is the one that was a gift. It was Jess, our Australian friend. The upper left one here, this beautiful banded agate, is called Wave Hill Agate from Northern Territory, Australia. And she brought that all the way from there for me. And it's actually, I have it here as well. Beautiful. Thank you, Jess, so much for this. This is one of my best pieces, I think. It's just gorgeous with the band.
I love that one.
Yeah. So that's that one. The other ones I bought from the Rockhound shop that I introduced Anna to on her own island that she didn't know about, which is kind of amazing. And it's close to your house,
tourist
too.
in your own hometown. I love that. It was like 7-minute drive. Actually, I think as far as you were concerned, everything was close to my home.
Yes, literally, I can compare it to being like in Toronto and where everything is so far away in Ontario. No, everything was super close, and I loved it. I loved how
I don't eat supper like normal people. Actually, when I'm done this, I have to cook dinner for 6 people, and then even though it's nighttime, I have to go back out to my shop and continue working on that desk. So
yeah, so we're gonna
that's my plan.
We're not gonna keep you much longer.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, so the one here at the bottom left, this is called Dallasite, and Dallasite is named after Dallas Road, which is around near where Anna is as well, in that same area. It was first found near Victoria's Beaches on Dallas Road, which is where it was called Dallasite, and it's got mixed black, green, and white colors, and these are the official colors of the Victoria Lapidary and Mineral Society. And that's this piece here that I bought from the Rockhound shop. I love, if I go to a place, I like to go and buy like a little sample of the rocks that are native to that area. I can't think of a better souvenir. It's literally of that place. So that's that one. The pink one, bottom right, is called rhodonite from Victoria, BC as well. The pink color is from manganese, the element manganese, and that's what this one is here. Perfect, wonderful souvenirs from Victoria that are from Victoria. And the last piece is this giant chunk of fluorite that I bought. Now this one is not from Victoria. I don't know where it's from exactly, but I could not help getting it. The size of this tetrahedron is wonderful, and the color of it is this beautiful pale, almost like seawater kind of a color. And I picked it up from the Rockhound store as well. And it's a beautiful crystal. Most of my stuff is not in crystal form. It's usually just rock, like polished rocks. But that is a nice little piece that I bought as well as a souvenir from the Rockhound store. Heartslayer, welcome to chat. Yeah, we're moving on. So I'm gonna show some of the stuff that Anna has. Oh yeah, so that was that picture, and the last one is Anna's rocks. Okay, so we have a beautiful. Anna sent me some photos of some of her collection of rocks because Anna is also a bit of a rock hound, and we're gonna quickly go over these. And I've kept her. Her family is starving because of me, and I feel really bad about that.
I'll understand. For you, you know what? Actually, every week on Monday when I cook dinner, it's always the time that I cook it. I cook at 5, and that you're at 8, so that's when the stream starts. So I'm always downstairs, and my family's around. So my mom's like, "Oh, what's that piece of music? What's Julia working on?" We're all kind of talking about it, and it's kind of the thing that happens on Tuesday. So you're always a part of my Tuesdays.
Oh, Julia. I love that. Thank you, Anna. That's awesome.
Yeah, that first guy I see now, a lot of you might know this is already this is a man-made item. So this is a bismuth, and it's cool because most of the metals don't melt until about 1,000 degrees, and this one melts at 271 degrees Celsius, which is very groovy. And then they use electricity and they kind of force it through in the cooling process, so it keeps trying to form its outside, and instead it forms these super awesome geometric designs that look like pyramids.
That's
and
lovely.
Healers try to sort of tell you that they're an amazing natural thing that will heal you, but seriously, they're science. But science is pretty darn cool.
Yes, here's another shot of that same piece, and it's really glorious. Really, the fact that it naturally will do that in response to the change of temperature and everything, and the electric current. That's wonderful.
That's right,
Yes.
Ronald. I'm too busy at the Crimson Diamond dinner party to create my own dinner party.
And Sir Hyper says that he has got a rock collection. His small consists almost entirely of obsidian. That's another
Ooh, I
thing.
wonder why.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And bismuth is quite cool. This next piece is beautiful. Oh my goodness. This piece of jade from Jade City, BC.
Yeah. There's this picture and another one just by a lighter. Well, it doesn't matter. Just to say it's a bigger piece. And Jade City's cool because it's all the way up in northwestern BC. So it's up towards the Yukon territories, and it's home to 92% of the world's nephrite jade, which is okay. It's not like the emerald green jade, that kind of a royal jade color. It's another tone, but it comes in varied greens. Nephrite meaning like you can get it in yellows or blues, but it's not necessarily jade. But this particular type of jade is very popular. It's also the home of a reality series, if you Google it, called Jade Fever, where there's this family, and they're a mining family, and they've been mining jade in that area, Jade City, for 30 years now. They own the general store, and it's just super interesting. It's hard living. You think, oh, British Columbia is beautiful, but when you get up into northwestern BC towards Yukon, it is hard territory up there.
Yeah. That's a gorgeous piece, Anna. Really, really beautiful.
Aw,
I love
thanks.
the color. I love that bluish green color, actually.
Yeah, the veining and everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah, here's an example of scale Anna provided us with. There's a Statler Mars plastic eraser set beside the jade. It's a sizable hunk, Anna. I'm jealous. It's gorgeous. Next piece this is really interesting, and I think this is very much in tune with the Crimson Diamond. This it kind of looks like a core sample. Is that what that is?
It is. Yeah, it is a core sample from Sandon, BC, which is like my favorite ghost town in the world. It's a ghost town. It's in southeastern BC, and we've gone there a couple of times to kind of film a little bit of, the changes over the years. But anyways, yes, they were actually a place people went to mine silver. There was quartz, and there was galena ore, which is a mixture of like lead and other ores that's super duper poisonous. I have some, you can't touch it. It's a thing. But this place was founded in 1891, and it has been ravaged by fire and floods ever since. This little place that's in a concave valley out in the middle of nowhere has had a hell of a time. And right now it has like 2 full-time residents, maybe 3, Hal and his wife, and they run the place. They run this power electric plant. They supply power. This is the original silversmith powerhouse that's been running since the 1800s. And they have like old buses on the property. People go there to tour the buses. So it may be just a rock, but it's also a story. And if I had longer, I would keep going on and on and on. It is just my favorite ghost town in the world. Totally Google Sandon, BC.
And we didn't even get to talk about ghost towns, but maybe another time, Hannah.
Yeah, there's that. I love ghost towns. That's a thing.
Yeah, this is a jar of sand from Darwin, Northern Territories, Australia, which I'm assuming you got from Jess, potentially.
I did, and it is unlike the sand here. The consistency is finer. It's brown. It looks almost like clay. If I would be imagining clay would look like. And when I smell it, I'm at the ocean. I've dug in the wet sand, and it's a warm day, and I can smell it. And the ocean in I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Casuarina Coastal Reserve smells like the ocean here. Like I feel so connected to Australia just having this in my possession.
And here's just a close-up of, it looks like brown sugar, actually. Yeah, it's quite brown.
Doesn't it? It looks tasty.
It looks delicious.
Mispronounced poisonous. I know, I do that all the time. It's venomous.
Yeah, and here is
Poisonous.
just this is
I'd love to go to Darwin. Yeah, that would be so cool.
This is Anna's rocks. This is also not the right orientation. But
no, sorry. But yes, we do need to go visit Jess. That would be a great CGG trip. We'll do like PAX Australia.
David Lee Holm is also a major rock hound, so that's awesome. But yeah, that I think Anna.
Oh yes, please do.
Yeah, I think that is so. This was just, I guess, to show the relative size of those pieces, which was kind of nice. The bismuth,
Yeah.
the sand, then the jade, and the core sample. That's awesome. And
Mm.
another, just the last thing I want to say about Anna being an amazing hostess when I was visiting in Victoria. It's nothing better than going to a place and having a local show you around, and she knows so much about the history and the plants and the trees and everything. It was like having a tour guide the entire time, and
Aw.
it was really wonderful. And I'm
Oh,
so
thanks.
sorry that we went late. And
No, that's okay.
I'm gonna let you go so that your family
Yeah.
does not despise me for making them their tummies rumble.
Thanks. Well, you know what? I'm going to be going downstairs and continuing the stream because it's running on my phone right now. So I'm still going to be here and I'm going to be in the chat too. So I'll still be around.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anna, for coming to
Okay.
this.
Thanks for
It's a
having
pleasure
me.
to chat with you.
So much fun. Have a nice night, you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Anna. Good to see you. Ah, lovely, 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 lovely. And I'm going to press end on this call, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. So see you
Okay,
later,
bye.
Anna, and I'll talk to you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. All right. Good. Now I have to fix my own camera, so I might have to restart completely. We'll stay for about an hour longer, but I have to fix my video capture devices. Oh, there I am. Oh, wrong camera. It's a bad camera. That's the built-in. We don't want that one. Give me one moment to fix that. It's not what we want at all. Yeah, the logic. I'm gonna have to restart everybody, so I'm gonna be right back. Restarting again. Be right back. And we will do a little bit of pixel art, and just hang out for a little bit longer, and then call it a night. But yeah, until about 10:30, I'd say. And I will be right back once I get this thing fixed again, because it's decided it doesn't want to. But I will be back. Okay, I should be back. Hopefully I'm back. Yeah. Um, Even I would say that, oh, it's the first time kind of doing this. Oh, and someone wanted to know what the name of that ditty was, and I'm not sure. I will have to look it up against the list of tracks that I have. But yeah, I would say, oh, it's the first time having a guest on, so technical difficulties and etc. Even though we did do a dry run late last week, but I can't even say that because Dan and I have been streaming together for more than a year, and we still have technical difficulties. So I don't know if that's ever going to be fixed. But it's something to keep in mind for the future when I have hopefully more guests on, which would be nice because that was lovely. Anna was lovely, and it was great to be able to talk. And we could have, of course, talked for hours. But I'm grateful, Anna, that you could come and hang out and do all that. Talk about what you work on, because I think what you work on is amazing. Let me see about the tune book. Oh, great. No, it's not. I want it. I'm trying to find the name of that tune. There should be a text file. Oh, here's a text document. Okay. It potentially was La Chaîne de Réal. Maybe it's this. La Chaîne Réal. Now, Grindislav, I'm glad you say that was great because, I'd love to have you on at some point to do a stream like that. Oh, there's a giant mosquito. What the heck? Get away. Yeah. Yeah. Francisco, I would love to have you on at some point to do the same. So if you liked it, it'd be great to have you on too, and we could talk about Adventure Game Studio and really old Photoshop and doing the game thing. Yeah, I think that was the name of that previous track potentially. I'm not 100% sure because I wasn't really watching it. Then I restarted and kind of lost my place. Back now. I might need to. So you guys can see me and hear me, I hope. Yay, Grundislav. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we'll organize something. When when the schedule allows for both of us, we will figure something out, and we'll try to talk about different things. We'll try to talk about different things. But of course, there's some stuff that I think every time it's kind of expected that we talk about. So we'll definitely do those things too. Yes. 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 But thanks again to Anna of the CGG Podcast and of her translucent finishing woodworking main job. I guess for now, we're going to move on to some pixel art. We're going to work on the same piece we've been working on for a little bit. And yeah, happy Crimson Catoos Day. And thank you for people who are persisting through the technical difficulties in the restarting and stuff. Usually that's Dan who has to restart his computer, so I feel what that's like. Ooh, I'm starting the wrong edition of Photoshop. So yes, Anna, thank you so much for being on. But it would be nice. It would be nice to have other people on occasionally to stop me from having to do actual work. But we'll do a bit of something tonight when it comes to that piece, which is it's progressing. It is. I'm glad, Anna. I'm glad you had fun with it. Yeah, we didn't even talk about your big box collection. We didn't even get around to that. But yeah, work. I know. We'll get around to some work, I suppose. Of course, if you're really into not seeing me do work, there are a couple channel rewards that can be redeemed. One is me showing old published work from my freelance illustration days, and one is showing a watercolor cat card. So those are on the table still. Yeah, there's no big box talk on that. I mean, Anna had them in the background. We just could not get around to them, unfortunately. But you shouldn't be seeing anything new. I will open up Photoshop, load up my proper files, and then if you guys don't see Photoshop when you should, you can yell at me. But that is not the case yet. Yes, Anna has a wonderful collection, and we'll have to. Or maybe she can talk about it on the Classic Gamers Guild podcast when they do video, even. Okay, so Shift 8 should be Photoshop. Okay, so now there should be Photoshop visible. Hopefully you're seeing that. And we're going to work a little bit on this sole piece now. Yes. And it's going pretty well. Just small incremental improvements. Yeah. We're getting there. Yes. Fractal Mind Mike, I've do something that's not work redemption. You have the opposite. You have the get back to work channel redemption. I should add that as well. I think that's a pretty good idea too. The first thing I think I was going to do, let's start with something easy to warm up. Why don't we just fix those stars? And every time I start another stream, I add a new layer to this. And, well, not that every one of these layers represents a new stream. It hasn't been 38, but I will make sure to at least start one new one when I start a stream. So. We'll put the stars in again, and then maybe we'll work into some of that dithering. Oh yeah, we were working on... You know what we were doing? We were working on hiding that cross bit, weren't we? Why is that not the most recent version? 1 second. What happened? What is going on? Intro night 2. This should be it. Okay. Well, that's a relief. Hey, Tap 2 GG. You'd be a guest, you're not a game dev, but you had to make games in your high school CS classes for 4 years. Well, do you have any potential projects? What engines were you working in? Ronald Raxta asks, "You hope there's going to be a big box for Crimson Diamonds?" Um, that would be really cool. It would be really cool. I don't know if that's in the cards. It kind of depends on a lot of things. I will never say never, though. Um, okay, so that's good. We have the right version now. And yeah, I'm going to start and just painting a little bit of star stuff, and then I'm going to get into the dithering and do some fun stuff. And oh yeah, and work on that clearing, of course. I keep forgetting. Yes, and I did flip it. At least I remembered that. Can you imagine? Yes, that studio for a long time. Crimson Tuesday felt like a museum, but now it feels like a nice lonely night gutting fish. Yeah, I. This one is not taking as long as that one because that one was extremely involved. This one is comparatively less time. I can see the ending eventually of this piece. And then we'll move on to some other. There is plenty of introductory sequence art that has to be redone, so we will never run out. Oops. Yes, Deluxe Tux. I was thinking that exact thing. We could totally James Cameron this business and use a period accurate star field. I was thinking exactly that. As I started to put these little white pixels down. Oh my goodness, people are gonna want actual constellations at the right latitude. Ooh, Fractal Mind Mike got kicked out of class for making games during high school. Devo, what are the big parts of this piece that still need work? Well, we were working on the clearing here, so the lighting effect of the clearing before adding dithering. The man we still have to work on a little bit, and then just detail bits, just to make it look more not as clean. Some texture here and there, and then then lay the dithering down. And eating with it is a good idea. You could design box art and have people make their own box. Yeah, I kind of have that on my site for the Christmas cards. I usually will put up the art for it, and if people want to print one out themselves on cardstock, they can do that. I did that for at least the first two. I don't know. I might have forgotten to do that for the latest one, for last year's Christmas card. But yeah, I mean, if people want to print their own, that totally would be totally fine. Okay, so that's that. And then, yeah, we're going to go back into this clearing and start cleaning up some of this stuff. Oh, okay, mostly graphics packages for scripting languages like Turing, Python, and Java. Also CS4 for a Flash game. I remember learning Turing in school. A little bit of Turing. So I didn't have zero computer programming knowledge when I started making the Crimson Diamond, but it was close enough to zero. But that's kind of on my to-do list of things I want to do after the game has been launched, whenever that will be. I really want to learn better programming. I mean, I don't know if Francisco is still here, but I was wondering, Francisco, if you are here, if you've ever taken any programming courses to kind of get better at the coding aspects of using a Adventure Game Studio. Because I do feel like that's something I want to look into. MS Paint artwork, Fractal Mind Mike, nice. Yeah, it would be nice to do. It would be nice to have like an art stream, a co-art stream or something, with someone. Yes, a wooden big box by Anna would be really cool. Never have taken programming courses, but I guess you figure you know enough, Grindislav, to get to do what you need to do. I always feel like when I do stuff in Adventure Game Studio, I'm at the level of programming where I'm certain I'm doing it in the most inefficient way possible, and I want to get better at that. Deluxe talks, all the programming you know is learned by necessity. You don't learn nearly as well if they're trying to teach you something that has no immediate practical application. Yeah, I can totally see that too. Um, it tends to stick in the mind better when you feel like you definitely need whatever that is you're learning. I do agree with that. Programming is easy with two monitors, just to Jeffy. I have resisted the two monitor setup. I like focusing on one monitor at a time. I do have an iPad that I'll have like a podcast playing on or like a YouTube videos and stuff, but I never really use it. I never really use two for work ever. Although I know that's the thing. That's the way to be. And this is not an ellipse, and I wonder if I should completely just use a tool to make a real ellipse. So why don't we do that? Because this is nowhere near an ellipse. I see. Pretty much, Grindislav, if you can't figure it out, I go to the AGS Discord tech support channel. I don't even think I'm in the AGS Discord. I just go to the forum. Yeah, so why don't we... Yeah, let's rough in an actual pixelated... In fact, it might be better for the scene if the oval does not... Oh no, it's anti-aliased. Get out. That's... Okay, there it is. Yeah. Go away, anti-alias. Oh, Dave, where you want to do a co-art stream? That could be in the cards. That could definitely be in the cards. So that studio program is either copy paste or ask a smart person for you. Coding, Edwin says copying and pasting from Stack Overflow. Yeah, I... Interesting fractal mind, Mike. So you've made your own engines. So when you try to program with something like AGS or Unity, it doesn't do exactly what you want to do. I get it. Yeah, I feel fortunate that I was learning from the ground up, and I don't feel like I'm lacking anything because I don't know any better. Which I prefer. I prefer not knowing any better, I guess is what I'm saying. This track right now that's playing used to be the introductory sequence music before I just stuck in the Crimson Diamond themes that Dan composed. Because I quite like this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a layer mask for this ellipse. And then I'm going to select all of the dark blue. There we go. Better. Or do I figure we should put it up higher? Maybe? Nice. Oh, you'd probably pick a screen of... Oh, we're doing Brandon Bloom's King's Quest 2 SCI 0 for like an art co-stream. Potentially. Yes, Bill Kuhn asked what this fisherman's name is again. Doug something, but not Doug Herring. The fish is something herring. Yeah, the fish is a lake herring. And they did have lake herrings in the lake that this fish would have potentially come from, which is Lake Superior. And the fisherman's name is Doug Bow, I think. If you read the newspaper in the game, it will tell you. And I think we did this last week, and I can't remember again. Yeah, Tap 2 GG. I've mentioned in the past that one of the failed names for the game, a game title, was the girl with the diamond herring. Doug Bow last week, Fractal Mind Mike. Yes, okay. I'm glad somebody remembers. You'd think I'd remember, but no. I'm glad and relieved. Okay, so let's add a bit of that. Suggestion of grass. It says Lake Superior doesn't seem very northern Ontario. Yes, the girl with the diamond herring, Bilkin. I know. I know it's terrible. It is terrible, and I understand that. It could have. It's not like it almost happened, but I considered it for a hot second. Yeah. Lake Superior. Yeah. I mean, just I needed something that would the closest large body of water to this area is Lake Superior. But this is not really close to Lake Superior. It'd be like James Bay, I think, would be would maybe. The area that the Crimson Diamond is set is the James Bay Lowlands, or the James Bay Highlands. Highlands or Lowlands, something like that. Which is up by James Bay. This is Doug's monologue because there's only one log. Terrible. It's terrible. I shouldn't make it so fun for you guys to torture me with puns. Because I do make a face. And I will get those pun lines. Although, like I said, I have the minimal allowable quota of puns in the Crimson Diamond to qualify as a retro style of game. Oh no. I see transparency here. I thought this is left over from when it was look at this. This is left over from when it was the setting was anti-aliased. It's gross. Yeah. It's no longer EGA. And I gotta say, in Adobe Creative Cloud, I don't like how it slides. It feels like I'm look at the way this slides. As soon as I take my cursor off the screen, I want it to stop. I don't want it to feel like the ice level in Super Mario Brothers 2, where it's I move it and then it keeps going. Why would it do that? Why would it do that? This weird glide. I don't like it. See what it just did the same thing. It's got to have a setting. And I have to say, yeah, tab 2 GG because using Adobe was getting too convenient. Yeah, this is terrible. I hate that. And also the way that the magnifying glass here, it works differently than the magnifying glass in Adobe Creative Suite 2. And don't even get me started on the crop settings in this version. But yeah, so before in Creative Suite 2, this magnifying glass, you would take it and you would select the area that you wanted. If you clicked and dragged, you would select a rectangular area that it would then zoom to. It doesn't do that anymore. It just does this, which I also don't like because it's different. You can still do that, Blauholz, and how? I'm holding down different keys. And it doesn't give me that nice defined area that I like. It's a scrubby zoom? Is that what's happening? Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, great. So you want to take it off scrubby zoom. Right. Okay. So look, yeah, it's now doing what I want. There we go. Okay, good. I prefer that. So it's called scrubby zoom. Or Blaholtzen says you can still do that. You just have to do it with the selection tool, then switch to the crop tool. Selection tool like this. Switch to the. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so to select the way you want for the cropping. Oh, isn't that interesting? But the kind of cropping that I do, it doesn't seem to. It's just weird and different. Yeah. I mean, the thing is coming off of the difference between Adobe Creative Suite 2 and Creative Cloud is obviously vast because it's been 15 years after all. So maybe if I slowly gotten acclimatized to the differences over the Creative Suite versions, then maybe it would not be such a difference to me. But like I said, it's not a deal breaker. It's just stuff that's different that I'm not used to. And I'm just quickly going to check that notification. Candrews42, thanks for the follow. Oh, wow, this is a mess. Yeah, Big Julia, I have to change that. 1 second. Hotkeys. Big Julia. This one. And with guest. Okay, good. Okay, great. Thank you for the follow, Candrews42. And I'm going to try to get back into Photoshop again. Oh, don't forget to eliminate the rest of the transparency on the lower left. Yeah, it's not a huge deal if it doesn't, because the Adventure Game Studio palette that I've got it's set to it looks like I've pretty much got it all. It's set to forcing it to the proper palette, so hopefully that wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, it's just oh yeah, you're right, it's still there. I can see it. I can see it with my eye better than the marquee can. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, we have discussed that the opacity menu here, that's hard-coded to these numeric keys. So don't accidentally press a numeric key when you're on the brush tool in Photoshop, because it will change it. So you can see that here in that option bar, toolbar, whatever this is. So just be careful. Yes, proper palette prevents poor pixels. Yes. But the overall improvement in performance that Adobe Creative Suite has over CS2 at this stage of the game, it's for streaming, this is way better. Even with the weird slidey hand thing that it's doing right now, the inertia hand thing that it's doing, that's minor compared to the fact that it just runs better. Because before, I was using Creative Suite 2 to do the art on stream, but the lag that I was getting was just a bit too much for me, and it actually makes it really hard to work. Yeah, the performance increases, Fractal Mind Mic are worth the weird growing pains, for sure. So this is fine. Yeah, so that, I'm doing kind of this dimensional trick where the blades of grass along the bottom of that ellipse are being backlit, and the blades of grass on the other side are being front lit. Yeah, not bad at all. Great. And then I guess I should move that whole thing up, because now it's not centered. Let's do that. I will say I kind of like the way that they've handled the lasso tool. It just feels really precise, I guess. Let's see. And I'm trying to think. We didn't really do developer update. Oh, we didn't play the trailer for the game. I'm gonna do that. I'll do that. But developer update is, I'm just polishing up the overhaul that I did to chapter 4, and then I have to test it. Um, and what else can I say about it? And also, the guides that they're showing right now, I'm not too fond of them. In fact, let's see if I can probably get rid of those extras. Show, what would that be? Is it a smart guide? Okay, yeah, good. Yes, the fire disappeared. Okay, therefore you think playing the trailer makes some more sense? People who are new might come in a bit later. Okay, perfect. Well then let's do that. Let's play the trailer then at this stage of the game. For anyone who's new, I didn't really introduce myself, I guess, this time. I'm Julia Minamata. I'm the solo indie game dev behind the Crimson Diamond, which is the game art that I'm working on right now. And it is a text parser mystery adventure game set in northern Ontario in the early 1900s. And you play Nancy Maple, who is mirrored. That's her. And you are a rookie mineralogist, and you get sent up to the ghost town of Crimson, Ontario, to investigate a diamond claim. And you have to stay at Crimson Lodge, which has a bunch of mysterious characters that you get to learn about over the course of the game, and you have to figure out if there are diamonds in Crimson, Ontario, as well as a few other things, hopefully, along the way. And every Tuesday is Crimson Tuesday, and we usually either stream game art, which is what we're doing now, or Dan Polikar, the musician on the game. Dan, is it D? Yes, Dan the band. Oh wow. Oh, that link doesn't work. But Dan will stream on his channel on Tuesdays, Dan the Band Music on Twitch, and he'll compose a piece for the game from scratch, from beginning to end, on a Roland MT32, genuine Roland MT32. And that's what we usually do. Although for the past few weeks, Dan hasn't been able to make it. So this week we did something different, which we don't usually do. We've never done before, actually. We've had a guest on, Anna Vigu, from the Classic Gamers Guild and the Classic Gamers Guild podcast. And that was a lot of fun, so I'm hoping we can do that a bit more often, maybe mix it up a little bit. But yeah, so why don't I run the trailer? There is a demo on Steam. There's a demo on Steam, which I will link. It's a playable demo. It is chapter 1 of the game. The game is going to be 7 total chapters. I'm finishing off chapter 4, and so hopefully after I do that, I'll be working on some player feedback. After that, then I will be on to chapter 5, and we'll see how that goes. The Lux Tux wants to know, how remote is the lodge? Is it a mail once a week situation or mail once a month? That's a good question. I actually, in the introductory sequence, what happens is Nancy is in Toronto, and she takes the train. It's pretty early in the morning when she gets into work. By the time the train gets to the Crimson train station, it's at least nightfall. It's at least nighttime. So it's got to be at least. I mean, this is exaggerated, I guess, because I don't know how long a train would take, but it would probably be. I don't want to give you guys any concrete numbers because then people will start figuring out how far it would actually be and tell me that I'm wrong. But so she would probably have been at work at maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. Or maybe the exterior shot for the Royal Canadian Museum that we did is kind of dawn, so it could be even a lot earlier than that. But by the time she gets to Crimson, Ontario, it is evening. And when she gets to the train station, Jack says that the lodge is 3 or 4 hours by car from the train station. So what I actually think is, I don't think they would get mail delivered directly to the lodge. It might just get delivered to, maybe the train station has something in the form of a post office box, but similar to that. And you would go to the train station potentially to pick up your mail, because that might be where the mail comes through. And it probably wouldn't be a weekly thing. Yeah. The Phantom Fellows, you've been listening and reading while doing general dattery. Thank you for hanging around, Paul. Paul is Nightbot just put in the links for for the Phantom Fellows, which is the project that Paul is on when he's not hosting the Classic Gamers Guild podcast with Anna and Rick. And yes, there is a Steam store with a demo on there, and there's a twitter.com/phantomfellows, and definitely check out the demo. I played it. It's a lot of fun. The art's great, everything like that. It's a lovely pixel art piece. Yeah, Bill, you'd never live way out there. You could never get to a doctor if you needed one, for one thing. I guess that's one of the reasons why that type of place is such a nice setting for any story where stuff could potentially go wrong, is because, yeah, there's not a lot of authority to set things straight. You kind of have to figure things out on your own. So that's one of the reasons why. So I was going to do something. Oh, yes, I was going to run the trailer. My gosh. Okay, yes. I'm going to run the trailer. So, yeah, Dan, the music you're going to hear in the trailer is the Crimson Diamond theme that Dan composed for the game. It is going to be all original music for the game. And I'm actually kind of glad that Dan hasn't been able to make it for the past couple weeks, because we are running out of things for him to make, because I'm working on end of chapter 4, and Dan has been composing stuff that I haven't even made yet, and there's only so far we can go with that, and I don't know what we're going to do next time. But I'm going to run that trailer, and you guys can see what the game looks like. If you've never played a text parser mystery adventure game before, I do have a tutorial in the demo that hopefully will teach you the basics on how to use a text parser, because I want people who aren't just familiar with the text parser to play it and enjoy it, hopefully. Because I really like that interface, and I would love to see more games with it. So, we're going to run the trailer. Crimson, Ontario was once a prosperous, lively mining town. But that was a long time ago. Now it's quiet, nearly deserted, and some folks aim to keep it that way. Nancy Maple is an aspiring mineralogist assigned to follow the trail of a dazzling diamond. An intriguing cast of characters has converged under one roof, each meaning to get their own way. Or else. Will Nancy untangle the mysteries and machinations before it's too late? Will the sleepy town of Crimson shine once more? Find out in The Crimson Diamond, an upcoming adventure game by Julia Minamata. The Crimson Diamond demo is available on Steam and itch.io for Windows PC and Mac OS. All right, so there we have it. A fractal mind Mike said where he grew up, they had flying doctor service to be able to reach remote people in outback Australia. Wow, yeah. So this would, at this stage of the game, they would not have a flying doctor service. And they wouldn't really need to, I suppose, because Crimson, Ontario at this point is kind of a ghost town, and the only thing that's really active in that area is the lodge. So there isn't really much reason for mail service to come through there. And in fact, the train station, it looks, I think in the intro, it looks like it's a bit in a state of disrepair, because not a lot of people pass through that area. And everyone wants to know, do the individual characters in this game have their own themes? And we thought about doing that, but we decided against it. So no, unfortunately. It's more like just a tone for the game, and when dramatic stuff happens, we have dramatic music. Yes, Tab 2 GG. Yeah, she takes the office chair for a spin. One of those things that I could not resist doing. I enjoy doing that. Because they did have spinny chairs back in that time. Apparently, it was one of the founding fathers who invented the spinny chair, and I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Thomas Jefferson. But yeah, they had them since the late 1800s. They've had spinny chairs on wheels. Custom 43, I heard on Tuesdays the trailer is run twice. Is there any truth to that rumor? If we have done it twice, it's because I've forgotten that we ran it the first time. Or if we have a raid or something and there's a lot of new people to the channel, then I will run it again too. So that might have happened at least once. Kurt Rocket Runner, good evening. Good to see you. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Photoshop now. And yeah, I'm just adjusting where this fire thing is now to make it more in the middle. Oh, yes, that's true, Bill Coon. The trailer is on YouTube. Oh yes, just the mini games, the arcade sequence of Kimmy and Nancy starting to race down the halls in the chair. The halls are pretty long, to be fair. They're probably unnaturally long. Um, I'm just gonna switch back real quick because I heard a chime, but I'm not. My activity feed is not saying anything new. So whatever happened, thank you for whatever that was, because I'm sure it was a good thing. Just not showing up. Oh, nice. Back on my mic. Thank you for the host. I don't know why the activity feed in OBS is not showing that, but thank you for the host. I appreciate it. That's amazing. Yes. Ronald Dragster asks, um, any book series, movie stories inspired by? Um, Not really. I don't think. Whoa. Why? Phil is at 80. Why? Oh, okay. Weird. Okay. Um, Not anything. Not generally anything really. I'd say. Um, just bits and pieces here and there, I guess. And probably more. It's inspired by sort of the classic. Why isn't that showing up? Classic mystery, like Agatha Christie stuff in general. Not really anything specific, though. I don't think. And please, in fact, Mike, do not apologize for hosting. That's awesome that you hosted. I really do appreciate that. We need more fire. Yeah, I think I need to add more yellow to this fire, and more red, too. Yep. Yeah, you don't want to live in an Agatha Christie novel. I wouldn't either. It's just like what people always joke about in Murder She Wrote. The murder statistics in Murder She Wrote are kind of insane. Really out of control. Cabot Cove. I actually have never seen Murder She Wrote, although I should, because it's one of those real staples of the cozy mystery genre, and I've never gotten around to watching it. But we should have more fire. And more buckets. Oh, he should have. Is that what he should have? Is that what good fire etiquette means? Fractal Mind Mike, having stones around the fire to keep it contained. I'm not much of a camper myself, so I don't know any of this stuff. But I do feel like I want there to be more of a fire here, because there really isn't one. Although it shouldn't be too fierce of a fire, I guess, because the fish would burn. So maybe my initial instinct was right. Unless you want to start a bushfire. Okay, Fractal Mind Mike says yes. Tab 2 GG. Pretty obvious that Angela Lansbury has blood on her hands. Yeah. Same with Poirot. Can't go on vacation without like 3 people dropping dead around him. Okay, stones, and often you want to dig a little hole. Okay. Yeah, we can make that happen. That actually might be nice. Yes, Jessica Fletcher, yes. Long Sands, yeah, Jessica Fletcher from Murder She Wrote was either a serial killer or the Grim Reaper. I like the idea that she's the Grim Reaper, and her arrival anywhere just indicates somebody's doom. Yeah, and don't invite famous eccentric detectives to anything. Although I think it would be safe to invite Columbo to things because I don't think Columbo had any case where he was just somewhere and something happened. So you're probably safe to invite Columbo. It always seemed to just be completely work related, not when he was on vacation or anything like that. So invite Columbo to stuff. Columbo seems like a nice guy. Oh, nice deluxe text. With Miss Marple, it's even weirder because she has a normal small town life. Then she hits 70, and then boom, it's like Murder Central. Yeah, Miss Marple, of course, is like the name for Nancy Maple is kind of a bit to do with Miss Marple as well. And I can't even say that I've read any of that stuff either. Yeah, and for Columbo, the deaths happened at the start of the episode anyway. Yeah, so invite Columbo to enjoy some gumbo. Nice rhyme. Columbo to Columbus. Don't invite Columbo to the drive-thru. He's always asking for just one more thing. Thank you. Columbo's a good one. I really enjoy watching Columbo. The first episode of Columbo was directed by Steven Spielberg, and he was like 23 years old when he directed it. It's kind of amazing. And because Peter Falk met up with him and was impressed. Was he 23 or 27? He was 23 or 27. I don't remember the exact age. Steven Spielberg directed the first, and it's a good episode of Columbo. And Columbo actually doesn't act quite like Columbo yet because it's the pilot. But it's really cool. It's a really good episode. Ooh, Crit Rocket Runner used to watch Perry Mason on Fox every day. I never watched Perry Mason. We said we were going to add a few sparks here and there, so I'm going to add a few. Ah, Jim Matt, thank you. Spielberg was 25 when he directed the first episode of Columbo. Episode was in 1971. '25, young Steven Spielberg. And even then, Peter Falk apparently could tell that the kid was something special. Tap2GG, you think the gimmick of Columbo was that you could annoy people into confessing to all their crimes. The fun thing about Columbo was watching the suspects squirm. It's hilarious. It's really, really fun stuff. Perry Mason movie favorite Perry Mason Eden with was the 1930s movies with William Warren. I've never seen any Perry Mason. There's so much good detective stuff out there I've never seen. I have read a few Agatha Christie books, but I don't actually remember any of them. So yeah, stuff that might be considered inspiration for me. It's stuff that I just have an impression of, but I've never actually experienced. Oh, Dr. Mikachu, you like Murder, She Wrote? I've never seen it. The only exposure I really have to Murder, She Wrote is Pushing Up Roses, her wonderful series on the Murder, She Wrote show. So that's my only real exposure to it, so I'm glad I watched those. Just a Jeffy got disconnected. How did we start talking about Columbo? We were talking about people that you wouldn't want to invite to anything because death just seems to follow them around. And I said that Columbo seems to be okay because I don't think there's a single episode of Columbo where something criminal happens when he's on vacation or at a dinner party or anywhere really. He just seems to be on assignment every episode. Oh, awesome. I love that idea, Deluxe Tux. Conan wrote this pilot in the early 90s where Adam West plays an actor who used to be a TV detective who goes on to solve real mysteries. That's great. That's great. I love that. Oh, Eating with two. Spielberg had a small cameo role as a county clerk at the end of the Blues Brothers movie. Ooh. That's awesome, Dr. Mikachu. That's funny. I've never watched Murder She Wrote, but it's nice to. Angela Lansbury is like a grandma James Bond. Everyone's constantly hitting on her in Murder She Wrote. It's awesome. That is awesome. Angela Lansbury is a lovely lady. Really, truly. Ooh, Tap 2 GG just looked up Pushing Up Roses. She has a video about Jenny LeClue. She did a short video on the Crimson Diamond as well. And I like Knives Out. Knives Out is a lot of fun. I have a weakness for strong ensemble casts who just look like they're having a blast. And you definitely get a lot of that in Knives Out. And it does kind of feel like a cozy mystery. I mean, it's not completely restricted to the house, but the house is really nice. Yeah, mystery movies are great for ensemble casts. Yeah, really, really good. And they should make more of them. It's so much fun to see really fun actors bouncing off each other. And Type 2 GG says Knives Out was the most fun you had in theater in a long time. It's on Netflix, I think. I think it's on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, check it out. It's good fun. Yes, just to Jeffy, Knives Out was surprising. I had some expectations because I could tell by the movie posters and things that and I think the trailers it just looked like exactly up my alley. And Daniel Craig is really good in it too. Dr. Mikachu, cozy mystery. Yeah, I might have said something that was a bit misleading in what a cozy mystery is. But basically, a cozy mystery is something that is not extreme when it comes to like violence. So it's not extremely violent. There's not a lot of graphic anything. It's not explicit either. It's something you could watch with your grandma, for instance. That's pretty much the best way I could explain what a cozy mystery is. So stuff like Agatha Christie definitely qualifies. Um, I don't know about Sherlock Holmes, but Miss Marple, probably Angela Lansbury stuff as well for the most part, where there might be violence because crime is happening, but it's not super graphic. Hmm. Yes, Nicole Eder enjoyed Knives Out. Look forward to the sequel. Yeah, I love the fact they're doing sequels, and hopefully with the completely new ensembles too. Just good fun. Madeline Kahn and Clue. You know what? That's something I do have to see. I have to see the Clue movie because I actually don't think I've ever seen it, and that's one for sure. Could be. Is Nancy Drew a cozy mystery? I think they could be. I mean, I think they're more like for young adults. Uh, uh, Nancy Drew, which I did read quite a few of, and also the Hardy Boys, and those would probably qualify. Although I don't know if it qualifies if it's supposed to be for kind of young adults, and it's also not that explicit. Clue is a must watch, just a Jeffy. I will. I'm going to see it at some point. And I know there are Nancy Drew point and click games. I'm assuming they also would not be that graphic. Yes, Nicole Eder. Yeah, it's good. So you're saying that Knives Out sequel is going to be an all new cast with Daniel Craig returning? That's good because I just want to see more great actors. And I did show my old clue board that we have here, and how I just love the rooms and how some of the rooms actually were direct inspirations for me for some of the rooms in the Crimson Diamond Lodge, the Crimson Lodge. I really enjoy stuff like that. Ooh, Tim Curry emoji fractal mind Mike, nice. Oh, and Dr. Mikachu streams Nancy Drew series. Ooh, the Silent Spy has backstory for her family. Yeah, we don't. Well, in the books, I think her father is. Well, no, the Hardy Boy's father, I think, is a lawyer or something. I don't remember much about Nancy Drew's family, or if they actually get into it much with what her family is like. Hmm. You know what? I should put a circle of stones around this. White edge lighting in his beard, Kurt Rocket Runner says. Oh, thanks, Last Studio. Like how the fire's looking. Yeah. Why don't we could always try some white on his beard because I think you might be right because if the light is causing this light effect on his head and his nose and everything, it could be that we would need that extra color in there. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds Dr. Mikachu. It sounds like a lot of fun to stream, kind of like an adventure game like that. And if you get stuck, you get suggestions and stuff. That's also something I guess I've never really done besides streaming the Crimson Diamond stuff. This potentially streaming other games. Something Dan and I talked about. I'm not sure if we'd ever really do it. He's actually done it. Dan has streamed Empire of Sin because Dan worked on a lot of the music for that game with Romero Games. I know he's done that. He says it's really tiring. Ooh, Puzzle Agent 1 and 2. I've never even heard of that. Oh, that's where the emote comes from? Oh, that's nice. I like that art. Yeah, I kind of like the lighting here on his face. It kind of gives it more dimensionality. That's nice. Good suggestion, Crit Rocket Runner. For sure. For sure, for sure. Uh, Ronald Dragstra, Anna did find a bug. Nothing that spoiled the puzzle. It just kind of makes the game impossible to play. So that's not good. Um, we'll resolve that. She has not given me the details about that yet, but I'm working on chapter 4 anyway, so it's not really any rush for her to get me the rest of that. But yeah, that needs to be fixed. Yes, Tangle Tower, Deluxe Talks. Good point. That's one I definitely want to play. When I was showing the Crimson Diamond Adventure X in London in 2019, the Tangle Tower people were there showing it, and it's gorgeous. It's really nice looking. So that's for sure on my list of things I want to play. Yeah, the art style is amazing. The art style is amazing. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good games were showing at Adventure X when I was there. There was Inspector Waffles. Backbone was there. Tangle Tower was there. There was something called Astrologaster, I think. There was a bunch of games that have since launched that are really cool, and the developers are really cool and really nice to meet. Wow, that's a huge gap for that fish. It looks like it's gonna fall through any second. Hmm. Yes, Type 2 GG. Yeah, you should know Astrologaster. Yeah, that looked really cool too. Very interesting gameplay, I think, and something I've wanted to play. And Backbone just came out. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, because you're just sitting there at your little table, and the Backbone people were like kind of almost two tables down from me in a really small little area. So it was really cool to meet up with them because they're from Vancouver. They're fellow Canadians. Let's see. And it's actually that time of night. It's actually that time of night where I'm gonna find someone to raid. And if anyone has any suggestions, what we can find, what I like to look for, first of all, is anyone streaming the Crimson Diamond, which usually there isn't. Is anyone streaming the Colonel's Bequest? Is the other one that we look for a lot. Is there any suggestions anyone is looking at? I'm gonna open up my Twitch and see if I can see anything. If there's anyone playing that I'm following, if anyone that I'm following is playing anything that I'm interested in seeing today. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Slash Studio, thanks for coming, as usual. It's good to see you. And I love seeing your art as well. Wow. There's someone streaming. Oh, I should actually look for the Crimson Diamond. I said that I was going to do that and then I didn't. The Crimson Diamond. No one is. No one is. Okay. The Colonel's Bequest. Oh, see, Dutson is streaming Freddy Farkas, friend of Grenislav. That sounds good. Long Sands, thank you. Welcome to stream, and thank you for coming. It's good to see you. Yes, Kilgore Trout is doing Callahan's Crosstime Saloon, which is fascinating. I've never played it. I've actually read some Spider Robinson. Yes. Anyway, thank you for coming, and thank you to Anna again as well. Fractal Mike, good to see you again. Thanks for chatting and sticking around. Wow, 4:30 in the morning. Ronald Dragstra, thanks for coming, and have a good sleep. Good night, Dr. Mikachu, and thanks for the raid. That was awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Kilgore Truck is a Crosstime Saloon. Blah Holtzen, good to see you as well. Take care. But there's someone called Hippolito Pichardo who is streaming Peasant's Quest, which I can't resist. Maybe he's at Boiling Lake right now. Rather that, yeah, we might have to raid Hippolito Pichardo because he's streaming Peasant's Quest right now, and it's a text parser game, and it's kind of EGA-ish. I know, Bilku and Peasant's Quest. So why don't we do that? Actually, I can't resist Peasant's Quest. Okay, how on fire is he? He's not on fire at all right now. So we should see what that is. Okay, and where raid message is going to be, the Crimson Diamond, Raiders be a raiden. Okay. Okay, that's our raid message. The Crimson Diamond Raiders be a raidin'. We're going to raid Hippolito Pichardo playing Peasant's Quest. Text parser game by the Homestar Runner chaps. Thank you, Bill Kuhn, for coming. Amberzine, oh, as always, Amberzine, great to see you. Thank you for coming to stream today. Great. We're going to check this out. It's going to be fun times, I think. And oh crap. Oops. Where'd that go? Okay, we're gonna raid now. And I'll see you guys there. Okay, bye.